And we're live.
Hey, hey guys, Pie Guy Rules here.
Hey,
I'm joined with Shadow Streak.
that's me. What's
Well,
up?
I'm not joined with you, but I'm joined by you.
No, we're like brothers. Only closer.
And this week we're also joined by Monsters Review.
Hey, close enough.
Hey.
Yeah.
Close enough. Basically my
a,
name.
Is this a recast reunion? Close enough. Hey guys, welcome to the pre-show. We officially start at 4, but we're here to rabble rouse until then. How's our audio sounding?
Yeah, let us know if I need to turn them up or myself down or whatever. I mean, if you guys just want me to mute and you can just listen to them the whole time, that's fine. Just be honest with me.
Yeah, let me know how I sound. I really haven't used Discord in about 6 months. I haven't talked to these guys either in quite a while.
People will believe that. Yeah, we sound good. Good. Always good to hear it.
Awesome.
How are you guys doing? Hey, Daniel, Nicholas, Epic Gamer, Mark H, Kyogre's Hideout, Super Tails, Cartoon Post, Snake, Spider, Scorpion.
I love sounding youth.
We have a lot of people commenting right now. For only 40 people watching, good for you guys. I appreciate active and engaged people.
Do you guys have a name for the stream soda consumers? Do you call them like the drinkers of the stream soda?
They're the God.
The hype squad?
I don't know.
I was tempted to say slurpers.
Oh, God.
But that's probably not the best name.
Hey there, you caffeine addicts. Well, not all sodas have caffeine, so I don't know. The carbons. The
Carbonated fiends.
Yeah.
You guys could be the little
I sound
bubbles.
great. Thank you.
What up, my cool cats and kittens?
Wow, already getting some Camp Laszlo and Planet Sheen love. Who would have thought?
Go away.
Yeah, all right. We're glad we could have you, monsters. It's been fun.
Yep.
There's the door.
Be on my way out,
Back to
and
you.
I'm done.
Bring someone on for the pre-show, and then we're like, all right, we're live. Get out of here. Oh man. Well, if you guys love Camp Laszlo so much, you better get the Boomerang streaming service, because it's not on HBO Max.
Yet.
What does that tell you, though? Do you think that Camp Laszlo is such a high-quality cartoon, it must be gated behind a further paywall? Or that it's such a low-quality
it's
cartoon
a cheaper
that they...
paywall. But I think it's, HBO Max is more of kind of a mass market streaming service, right? It's like, it's competing with things like Netflix or Disney Plus. Boomerang is a little bit more niche, and I think they need a strong exclusive like Camp Laszlo to get people to pay for it.
I thought you were going to say the world isn't ready for Camp Laszlo.
It isn't.
Such highbrow content as there's a leech stuck to my head and we got a llama.
Oh yeah, parasitic pal. Let me tell you.
And we're obsessed with marshmallows.
Yep.
And
I'm gonna be honest. The only thing that comes to my mind when I hear Camp Laszlo is pizza French fries. So what is that?
Pizza French fry. Pizza French fry.
What was the last episode you guys have watched? Was it the ones for the recast?
Yep.
Same.
Honestly, I think yeah. Which I'm ashamed to say.
Cheese orbs from outer space.
Which
man.
is, I feel like every time we talked about or watched Camp Laszlo for the recast, I was always sitting there in the back and like, guys, this isn't a fair representation of the series. It's actually a lot better than this. But we watched like multiple episodes.
Well, that was like a watershed moment for the recast. Like when we first disagreed on Camp Laszlo, that was like episode 6 or something.
Episode 5, High Five of Doom.
Yep, and I was like, Monsters, I gotta tell you something. I'm like, Camp Laszlo actually ain't so good, and you were just like, no.
Yeah. Hey, Cartoon Game Girl, that review is very outdated. That is from 2015. It's like 5 minutes long. It's just bad. I'll make a new one sometime, but
Absolutely not.
Do not use that video as a metric of my association with Camp Laszlo.
All right. Well, hey guys, Pie Guy Rules here, and welcome to Stream Soda. Shadow and Monsters are here.
Yeah, I am. As always, I better be here. I'm the one streaming.
Yep. So,
I'm streaming this soda.
so welcome to Stream Soda. Today, we are going to talk a little bit about just some stuff we've watched in the past week. We're going to talk about a little bit of streaming news, not a whole lot. Peacock launched, but none of us really have a lot of impressions on that yet. But we will talk about it. And then, of course, we're going to get to Close Enough. And at the end of the show, we'll do a Q&A session. So if you have any questions for us or any super chats, we request that you please save them towards the end at the Q&A section, where we will be happy to answer anything. Otherwise, if you have stuff to say about what we're currently talking about, feel free to post it in the chat, and we'll interact with you as the show goes on. Yeah.
As always, there's also the Discord server, which you guys can join. Down in the description, there's a link to it. And if you join, there is a section in my Discord server dedicated to Stream Soda, where you can ask us questions that we answer during the show. I know some people have been using it the past couple shows because their questions tend to get lost in the chat. So if you want to ask your question in the server where it's easier for us to see it, feel free to do that and go ahead and join. But yeah, other than that, there's also plenty of other channels to talk about all sorts of things. So check it out.
Oh, cool. And yeah, we are blessed to be joined with an absolute legend, Monsters Review.
Oh, thanks for that grand introduction.
Yeah. Monsters is a big regular show fan, so we felt it was only right to have him on for Close Enough. You've been a big supporter of this show ever since it was announced 80 years ago.
Yes. Back when I lost my first set of teeth.
Was this show announced like before regular show ended?
I know it was 2017, and regular show ended in January of 2017. So I think it was summer of 2017.
Comic-Con.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Comic-Con, I believe.
Crazy. All right, but we will talk about Close Enough later on in the show. First off, we're going to start with just what have we been streaming? Shadow.
All right, so I actually streamed on HBO Max the movie Castaway from 2000 because my girlfriend had never seen it. And I figured, you know what? It's a quality film. It's basically the live-action version of Madagascar, except it came first. And I really like it.
Why would that be your reference?
For anyone who hasn't seen Castaway, but they've seen Madagascar, it's like, okay, well, if you want to know what inspired Madagascar, there you go. Because
instead of Wilson, we get Afro Circus.
I've never heard of it be compared. That's such.
Madagascar is an animated Castaway.
Would you call anything where characters wash up on a deserted island an adaptation of Castaway?
No, but it's a direct, like, it references the film in plenty of ways.
Okay.
Like the help sign on the beach, and obviously instead, like, there's a part where Alex references Wilson, but he's talking to Spalding instead. Not to mention it was the original Castaway was actually produced by DreamWorks.
Oh.
So
okay.
Yeah.
I'm not doubting you.
No,
I never heard that before. That just surprised me.
Yeah, no. Madagascar is an animated Castaway. But yeah, there's a fun little tidbit.
Is Flushed Away an adaptation of Castaway?
I don't think so, but yeah, honestly, that movie actually turns 20 this year, and that's like insane. But it's still really good. I think it still is. It holds up. Tom Hanks is just acting, and it's one of those movies where there's not a lot of dialogue for the majority of it. It's just you're watching a guy survive on an island, and I think he does a great job. There's some good humor. There's a lot of just like visual storytelling, and I'm a sucker for that. So yeah, highly recommend it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yep.
I've been streaming Avatar, The Last Airbender. Not the movie on Disney Plus. No, yeah, I watched all of Avatar. I guess I started it 2 weeks ago. I don't know. I watched a good portion of it this week, and yep, I talk about Avatar a lot. I've been playing through Avatar games over on my Let's Play channel. I've talked about Avatar here before, but just it's a great show. Completely holds up. You know, there's little flaws that you can find in it, but honestly, as a whole picture, it's just one of the best cartoons of all time. The big downside to watching it on Netflix is the fact that the Nickelodeon promo before it is a kids skateboarding on a roll of toilet paper. I don't know if you guys have seen this.
I have not.
Nope.
It's dumb. I, I don't know what to say. But the upside to watching Avatar on Netflix, like the big plus, is that the skip intro button is great. I usually am not a big fan of the skip intro button because, like, who's gonna skip through the Office intro, right? Like, who's gonna skip past, no one. Only monsters. Only monsters do it. Sorry, monsters. uh, um, but every so often there's kind of an intro, and the Avatar intro is why would I skip the Avatar intro? Well, first of all, it's just kind of like dialogue, which is iconic dialogue, but it's so iconic that I know it and I don't really need to hear it again. But more importantly than that, it skips past the previously on Avatar, which is very useful in some cases, but it's not the most useful when you're marathoning the show, especially because it's just straight up clips from the show. So yeah, seeing the skip intro button just kind of lets you watch more of Avatar in a marathon session. I like that. I did start Legend of Korra, but I'm not actually streaming it. I probably could. It's on Peacock, I think we talked about. Is it? Or
Legend
what's
of Korra?
supposed to? Yeah.
I'm-
I don't know, but either way, I have the Blu-rays, so I've been watching it on Blu-ray, and
It's on CBS All Access.
that's what I meant. Sorry,
Yeah.
CBS All Access.
Yeah.
My mistake. Hello, Nintendo. Anyway, I don't have all access, all right? I only have some access to CBS. So I watched it on Blu-ray, which, physical media has its upsides. It also has its trolling moments, like the fact that the Korra Season 2 Blu-ray has all 14 episodes listed on one disc if you go into episode selection. But if you click on one from the latter half of the season, it tells you to put in disc 2.
Boo.
Yeah, and that's really... I was like, wow, they were able to fit 14 episodes on a Blu-ray, and that kind of makes sense. Blu-rays can hold a lot. But no, it's just like, hey, just kidding. Get up and change the discs. Oh, man. But, getting up and changing the discs, it's annoying, but it's not the worst thing ever. Sitting through, like, the intros from all, like, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and whatever else was on Nickelodeon at the time, having to skip past that all the time, every time you boot up the disc is annoying. Physical media has its annoying things too. But, it's what I had, so. Anyway, Monsters, have you streamed anything?
Yeah, I've streamed a few things here and there. I guess it's proper to first inform you guys that I have gotten rid of Disney Plus. Originally, I had it when it launched, I want to say in November, just because I got really into The Mandalorian. And to be honest, I don't stream much to begin with, and especially that from the Disney catalog. If I ever was to have a Disney Plus subscription, it'd mostly just be for either like a one-time thing or like I'll spare $7 to watch something, or if I want to see some sort of new Star Wars or Marvel media. And that stuff kind of it showed up, and then there's not any new stuff for the foreseeable future. There was The Mandalorian, and then there was Clone Wars Season 7. And I don't see either any new Star Wars stuff or MCU shows coming for quite a while, so I ditched that. But what I have been streaming is on HBO Max. I rewatched the first 5 episodes of Primal.
Ooh.
Listeners of the recast would know that I love Gendy Tartakovsky. What a visionary animation legend. Yeah, I love that show. It's very mature, and it makes you think a lot. It makes you think a lot about life and kind of the ecosystem and kind of the food chain and those sort of things.
And storytelling.
And storytelling. Has a lot of visual storytelling. That's pretty much all I've seen on HBO Max, besides Close Enough. I've seen a couple of the new Looney Tunes shorts, and those were very well animated, and I was impressed by those. And then on Netflix, I've seen a few reality shows. I started watching a show called Selling Sunset, but then I stopped watching it because I didn't like it. It's a reality show about. I guess the thing to compare it to is Million Dollar Listing on Bravo. It's just it's this real estate agency in LA and it's these mostly women real estate agents trying to sell properties on Sunset Boulevard, very expensive, high class. And then I watched a series called the World's Most Extraordinary Homes, which is like it's based around architecture and kind of these odd homes that base themselves around the geography that they're placed in. And then I also watched a series. It's I don't even know if you'd really call it a series, but it's called Middleditch and Schwartz. It's 3 1 hour long comedy improv
That's on
specials.
Netflix.
Yep. It's so funny. I love Ben Schwartz and Thomas Middleditch.
Yes.
They're both so talented. I'm a big fan of improv, and I grew up watching Whose Line Is It Anyway? So,
Which is on HBO Max.
Is it
Yeah.
the CW
Yep.
and
No, the old one.
Oh, okay.
The old one.
So yeah, I was a big fan of those, and I hope they do more of them once and if things go back to normal.
Nice. If it's after 2008, Monsters hates. Unless it's by Gendy, then it's trendy.
Yeah.
You got it right, Pinata time. So you actually reminded me, Monsters. I watched something on a lovely streaming service. I attempted to watch a few things on a lovely streaming service known as Quibi. Anyone?
Oh.
Anyone have Quibi?
You mean Quick Bite?
Raise your hand. Send out a super chat if you've seen Quibi. Oh gosh.
A better use of your money.
Yeah. Oh man. It'd probably be cheaper. So yeah, I reviewed, or I just kind of ranted on Quibi earlier this week. I kicked around this idea for a while of talking about it because it was like this interesting thing that I was getting ads for, but I didn't see anyone actually talking about it for a long time. And my girlfriend actually texted me the other day saying, what is Quibi? Like, what is the deal with it? And I'm like, oh, I don't really like it's basically a streaming service exclusively for your phone. But yeah, but she was like, well, it looks really stupid. And I got an ad for a show about, I don't even know if I could say this on here. It's a show called Dummy, and it's about a large doll of a certain type coming to life in uncanny CG and talking about raunchy stuff with Anna Kendrick.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, and basically, my girlfriend was like, "This looks really beyond stupid," and so I was like, "All right, I'll do the review, or I'll do the rant." And yeah, no, Quibi is really stupid. They were offering a 90-day free trial originally. Now I think it's down to 2 weeks. Something important to note is that Quibi is a free download as an app, so the metrics on how well the app is doing is not representative of how much money they've received. How many people are actually paying for the service versus just using a free trial or downloading it and forgetting about it.
Yep.
But yeah, I tried to watch that show about the doll, and it was just as stupid as it sounds. Like it's basically just dumb shock humor. I tried watching a show where Idris Elba races someone, but it was so much like they're supposed to do like car stunts, but there was so much hype to start it up where it's like, we've got the track, and there's like an aerial view of the track, and they're like, we're going to do this and jump through the hoop and this and that. But my attention span was done because it's on my phone. I'm like, well, you're not doing it. I don't care. And I don't know if that says a lot about me. It might. But like, I don't know. Just the concept of it being, I don't want to repeat what I said in the video, but just being a phone-only service that has content that you have to pay for, that the content is like highly produced content, but it also means that it's like, there's drama series, and in a drama scene, like to begin the series, you're not going to immediately begin with action or something that immediately grabs your attention. You're going to begin with maybe like a scene of the protagonist sitting down and then someone walking up to him or something like that. And it's like, no one wants to sit there and wait for that while they're like waiting for the bus. You know what I mean? Like, who would want to watch 8 minutes of Breaking Bad and then be interrupted? You know what I mean? Like, who, under what market, and who wants to pay for the privilege to do that?
Yeah.
I just
It,
want to
it
ask, why has Anna Kendrick been spearheading these streaming service launches?
I know,
Because
right?
she was in Noelle, which was like a Disney Plus launch title with Bill Hader,
Mm-hmm.
and then she's in this Quibi show that you're talking about, and then I was just getting an ad for something that she's in for HBO Max.
don't know.
I don't know, man. But I've noticed that too. You're not the only one who's picked up
Is
on
it Anna
that, but
Kendrick though,
I've
or did I
seen
get
her-
that name wrong?
No, it's Anna
Okay.
Kendrick.
I don't know. I don't really know who she is. Yeah.
She's
yeah.
the girl from Pitch Perfect.
Pitch Perfect.
Oh,
Yep.
Cup song,
Um,
remember that?
no.
No?
But yeah, like
You consider yourself lucky.
the thing about Quibi that gets me is that like Quibi could be a YouTube channel. Like
Could.
literally for you could and they could do that. They could just release the stuff on YouTube with ads and there would be like no problem with that. You know, the problem comes with the fact that they are asking people for money for this and that they are putting it on like they are so confident in their phone thing. They had to add Chromecast support. That wasn't even there at the beginning. At launch, there was literally no way to watch it on your TV unless you had like a I don't know. I guess you could cast your whole phone or something. But even still, yeah, just ridiculous idea for a service. I know there's a Kardashian show on there that like parodies the Kardashians. That was getting a little bit of buzz because, of course, people are obsessed with the Kardashians. But yeah, no, I mean, it's like even if there's something on there that might be worth watching, it's like, do you really want to pay to look at your phone? And there's a version where you pay and you still get ads, and it's just the whole model is just beyond stupid, and it flopped hard, especially during the pandemic. There's a million other ways that they could have salvaged this. Again, like just make it its own YouTube channel, make it curated content that's designed for phones but could still be watched anywhere. Or make it free with ads, right? Like just do that.
Yeah, I was thinking the other day about this. I guess it's a streaming service that was around a couple years ago called Go90,
Mhm.
and it's pretty similar in kind of approach to Quibi, where it's like it was like backed by Verizon, and it was just kind of like this exclusive phone thing. It didn't, from what I remember, it didn't have like content caps on like how long each episode or show was or anything, but that like horribly failed.
Is
Except-
there? Oh,
What's
sorry.
that?
There's a question. Is there any animation on Quibi? If you saw my review, you saw the awful looking Fojack Horseman astrology show that is produced by Will Arnett, which gives me a lot of feelings. But I think that's the only one, and it's a daily animated show, which tells you about the quality of the animation on it.
Yeah, I have not checked out Quibi. I have no intention of checking out Quibi. That's gonna completely be out of my sight. So
Yeah. And I mean, there's a lot of content on there. I hope, I guess I just hope that a lot of that finds a home elsewhere, because there might be some good stuff on it. It's just the format doesn't work. It just does not work. If they, yeah, I don't know. I strongly believe that, because especially with like the kind of people who are going to want to watch things on their phone or don't mind watching things on their phone are typically younger people, and younger people don't like paying for things. Like they don't want to pay for a streaming service when they can watch for YouTube stuff. They don't want to do it.
Yep.
And I think that's completely reasonable. You know,
Yeah.
or they don't have money to do it, you know? And again, it's like, are you going to pay money for this really strange service, or are you just going to like use your family's Netflix account to watch Netflix on your phone? Because you can do that. You like everything that Quibi offers is already on basically every other streaming service. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to go off on a big tangent about Quibi again, but it's just there's just so much to say about it. I wanted to get the video out, but there's just like so many other things that are like, it's just crazy. It's so much money was poured into this, and so many people are proudly putting their names on this. People that have worked in the industry that really should know better. Apparently, one of the people that helped bring eBay to prominence and has sunk a few other companies since is like the second in command.
Interesting. Yeah, like I said, I've avoided it completely, so I know next to nothing about it.
Mhm.
And Clearly, it just sounds like something to avoid.
The thing is,
and I do hope
yeah,
that the good content that is on there is at least, it sees the light of day somewhere else in the future or something if Quibi ever goes down.
yeah.
So.
Okay. All right, cool. So moving along, we have our Axis update. Oh,
Woo!
get excited, guys. There's nothing to report. Nothing at all. There's no updates
Oh.
on the update page. It still has the September one as his latest update, even though that isn't the latest update. Butch, as far as I've seen, has not said anything about Oaxis or anything interesting on his live shows in the past few weeks on Facebook. He launched his book last week. We talked about that. I think, did we talk about his book?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
We did.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else really to report. He's just talking about his book a lot, promoting that, hyping that up. Apparently, the font is very large on it, and it's not a very big book. It's also like advice on how to break into the entertainment industry, but the Butch did that like 2-3 decades ago.
Yeah,
So,
and of all the people I would enlist the help of to teach me how to sell a show, the last person I would go to is Butch Hartman.
yeah. Well, yeah, because the other thing too is, I mean, I'm not trying to discount what he's achieved. He has achieved things. Just because I don't like him doesn't mean I'm gonna sit here and be like, oh, the man's never done anything good.
Right.
He did have a somewhat successful career in animation. But the thing is that he got in a long time ago, and I'm not saying all that information about how to break in is wrong, but it is not going to be fresh. A lot has changed, especially because of the internet. You know what I mean? Now, to get yourself noticed, you do things through the internet. You don't just like go out to California and like meet people. I mean, you can still do that, but I'm just saying I feel like a lot of how you get connected now is so tied up in the internet, and I doubt he's talking about that at all in his book.
Yeah.
And then after he's already made the Fairly Odd Parents, I feel like he got other things greenlit because of his name and reputation. So I don't think he's really had to go through the process of trying to get things actually like noticed and coming at it from a new person's perspective in such a long time that I don't know. And I mean, especially considering so much of his advice lately has just been really out of touch and just bad. I don't know. I don't understand. The target audience for this has to be just diehard Butch Hartman fans, of which there are some for some reason.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, CDCB, that's a good point. Joe Murray does have a great book. It's called Creating Cartoons with Character, I believe. It's a little hard to find, and there's only like a few copies in circulation, but it's a great book about his approach to development and creating shows from the ground up.
Does he talk about Rocco or Laszlo?
Both.
All right. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. There's tons of accounts that you can read. Again, I'm not saying that all the information in the book is wrong. I haven't read the book. I don't know, but it just seems, knowing Butch's ego, it feels like this is going to be yet another excuse to just brag about what he's accomplished. Like, that's if I know anything about Butch, that's what's going to be. So I wonder how much he's charging for it. I didn't even look, to be honest.
I didn't.
I know he was bragging about being number one. Wait. Number one new release in animation and design.
It's $20 for the paperback and it's $10 for the Kindle version.
Okay. I guess that's not terrible. I don't really know what the economy of books is, but does it say how many pages?
I don't see, but there is a description that says, "You are passionate, hardworking, patient, and persistent, right? You are a force of determination, right? Right. So let's do this. Let's learn how to get in the trenches and create, develop, pitch, and most importantly, sell a show."
Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
Oh, it says 185 pages.
I'm curious as to what it says about criticism, because if there's anything that's important to pitching and to developing your show, oh my God, it's criticism. like knowing what criticism to listen to and knowing what to reject, knowing how to respond to criticism in the room, knowing who to listen to, like it's very important. And
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I've got a preview up because Amazon lets you see a preview. This is literally the introduction. Do you want to win? I want you to win. That's why this book exists. Those are the first 3 sentences. Oh, this is amazing.
Oh dear. Okay.
I feel like this would be a very comical read.
Yeah. I don't know. I definitely tease the idea of doing a video about his book, but I just don't know what the point would be other than to just make fun of him, which I don't want to be too mean, or just come across as just hate with no purpose. So, yep. Okay.
Yep.
Moving right along in other actual streaming news, Peacock launched. So I wouldn't say this was like a big high profile launch, to be honest with you.
No, this feels like it was even less it got even less coverage than HBO Max
Wow.
did. Like I normally, like when I went into work, my coworkers, when Disney Plus came out, they were all talking about it. When HBO Max came out, they were all talking about it. Nobody mentioned a thing about Peacock.
Wow.
Like nobody. So I don't know. I haven't spoken to a single person in person who knows about its existence, and I've only talked to like 2 people online that have gotten it. So
Yeah.
I don't know what their numbers are, but it's not looking, at least in my firsthand experience, like it's very successful.
It definitely wasn't a strong launch. Monsters, have you used it at all or looked into it?
I haven't used it, but yeah, the only big marketing I've seen for it is the fact that it has like some sort of 30 Rock reunion special thing.
Yeah.
On the day that it did launch, I was watching the Today Show, like just kind of occasionally throughout the morning, and they kept talking about it. Like the anchors of the Today Show kept promoting it and talking about how you can like watch episodes the next day and how it's like some things are free and everything. So yeah, but otherwise I haven't used it.
Yeah, see, I haven't watched a lot on it, but I have poked around a little bit, looked into it a little bit, and it's definitely going for something different. Like I would say HBO Max, Disney Plus, Netflix, those are all in the kind of same category of no ads, premium, pay an amount, get the content on there, and it's all video on demand. But Peacock is kind of in a little bit of a different category in the sense that they have a free tier with ads, they have a paid tier, they have channels that you can watch, which is something interesting.
Yep.
Where basically like they have a bunch of these topics and shows and stuff that is just running on like a live stream, and you can click in and join it if you want a more TV-like experience. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I there's definitely a lot more research to be done, a lot more to look into. But just judging on like the lack of buzz around this, the lack of promotion, and the lack of really even clear messaging about what is this, I wouldn't say this was a particularly strong launch.
Yeah. I will say it is interesting, and I see some people have already mentioned this. There's a lot of movies on there that you can watch for free. The Matrix, Jurassic Park, all sorts of classic Hitchcock films, I think Scarface, all sorts of stuff. But Shrek is premium only, which is a huge disappointment. Like, I mean, I understand their greatest film on their entire platform, but like, oh man, I was really hoping I could just pop in Shrek every day and not have to worry about paying.
Don't worry, you can watch I Know That Voice, the documentary about voice actors. Don't worry, it's there.
I think I Am Big Bird is a documentary on
yes,
there
it
too.
is.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm definitely not down on it. I mean, it's free content, or at least some of it is free content where there was no free content, and that's not a bad thing. Like,
Yeah. Like, that's exactly how I see it. Like, the worst thing you can say is that some things are locked behind a paywall and you have to deal with ads. But it's either these are available for free with ads or they weren't available at all.
Right.
So I'm not complaining.
Right.
Like, I don't have to add this to my monthly bill or anything. And
wait, what's that,
fine
Shadow?
with me.
What's that? You don't have... But there's too many streaming services.
there's
There's
so
so
many,
many.
man.
You got to
I mean,
pay for
just-
Peacock. You got to have them all.
Yeah.
Gotta catch them all.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
No, but that's the thing.
Yeah.
I definitely want to. I'm still trying to get my HBO Max review out, but I definitely want to look into this more and see if it's worth it to get the paid version. But at least I don't see there being a problem with there being another free streaming service out there, even with ads. I mean, it's like Parks and Rec. Parks and Rec is free to watch. It's a good show. It was previously like on Netflix where you had to pay for the service. It might still be on Netflix, to be honest with you. Probably is. There's a lot more overlap with these streaming services than people would have you believe.
Yeah.
Like Rick and Morty's on Hulu and HBO Max, and some shows are on Hulu and Netflix.
Oh, I'm scrolling through Peacock's library right now. They have the greatest film I've ever seen: Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus.
Wow.
Oh, if you want to go for a ride, watch that movie. That is a 10 out of 10 piece of masterful art. I can't even sing its praises. There is a scene where the mega shark takes down an airplane. That's all I need to tell you.
Something interesting
It's
is that they
incredible.
don't have The Office on here yet. I guess that's not going to come until it leaves Netflix, but they do have a channel on their channels that is just Office, that just shows The Office. So I guess they can get around it that way.
Okay.
So yeah, it's definitely interesting. The name is dumb. We made fun of this when it was announced, right? Monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think the app has to be called something like Peacock Television, because Peacock is such a generic. I mean, dirty jokes aside, and there's dirty jokes to be made, but that aside, when I hear the word Peacock, I'm not like, oh, that's NBC and Universal's content. I'm just like, oh, that's a cool animal. You know what I mean? Yeah. If I hear Disney Plus, you instantly know what the branding is. If you hear HBO Max, you know at least that it's HBO content, right? And it's somewhere within the entertainment industry. Netflix and Hulu have been such established names now that you most people would know what you're talking about. But Peacock, I mean, even Quibi is a better name than Peacock, because at least Quibi sounds like something, like it sounds like the follow-up question would be like, oh, what's Quibi? Whereas the follow-up question with Peacock is like, oh, did you see one when driving home yesterday? Like, I don't know. It's such a pain in the neck to
Maybe
say,
they could
too.
call it like
Yeah,
a
I mean,
NBC Universe or something, like tying in the Universal thing.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I get why they called it, because obviously the NBC logo, you could say, has the same shape as like peacock feathers, but like the name itself, yeah, I don't think NBC when I hear the word peacock.
We brought this up at the time, but like, how many people even associate that logo with a peacock anymore? Right? How many people have just seen the NBC logo and just assume that it's a logo, right? Like
Rainbow.
Right. Yeah, it's I'm not saying no one, but I'm just saying, like, as far as branding goes, tying the peacock to NBC itself is that's not a strong connection to me personally. So I think that's kind of lame. But yeah, but you might say, well, that's not important, but I do think that if you're entering an already crowded streaming space, you kind of need to have an identity. And right now, I think what they're doing is they're trying to rely on their free content to pull people in, which is fair, and I think it's better than a lot of other strategies. But yeah, I mean, who knows how long they'll keep a free tier? Maybe they'll eventually phase it out. But as of right now, if you're looking for some new, interesting stuff to watch that is free, there is certainly stuff on here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we'll definitely talk about. Although I did have many people tell me that Quibi sounded like it was an Uber Eats type service. I had a few people say that. But anyway, we'll talk about Peacock more as it unfolds. I plan on watching something on it. There's definitely good stuff on here. I know 30 Rock is a pretty well loved show.
Yep.
Don't worry, they have America's Got Talent. Don't worry.
They also have, I know a popular drama right now is Yellowstone, which is like a Western drama that a lot of people like.
Isn't that the
That's
Yogi
on
Bear
here.
reboot? Oh, no, that's
No.
Jellystone. Oop.
That's
Oop.
Jellystone. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they also have a lot of Law and Order. So if you like Law and
Mm.
Order, you will be set for a while here.
They got old stuff too, like Columbo and Saved by the Bell. Maybe this is supposed to be the streaming service for old people, right?
Yeah, I'm like scrolling through, and most of their content, like especially with the movies too, like it looks like old stuff from like, you know, the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Like there's not a lot of like current stuff on here.
And the interesting thing,
Except for Hollywood Game Night, I guess.
I would also say that the channel section is definitely like a way to try to convert people, you know, because I don't know. I think once you've gone streaming, it's kind of hard to say, oh yeah, I'm going to watch channels now, like you know, but if it can convert anyone, then that's pretty cool. So
yeah.
And they got Days of Our Lives. Don't worry.
Oh, my mom's favorite soap opera.
One
Can't
whole
stand that
season
show because of that.
And as far as originals, it looks like they do have something. It's hard to even find an original section, but is there a section on here for originals? I don't see one.
I'm like scrolling through their their website
Same.
that they have showing everything, and I don't.
I just see some things like Curious George is listed as a Peacock original. The show, is it called Intelligence? I lost it now. Yeah, so I mean, definitely the UI leaves a lot to be desired. Psych 2 is a Peacock original.
According to Wikipedia, there's a drama called Brave New World. There's an animated show called Cleopatra in Space.
Right, I heard about that.
Docuseries called Lost Speedways, and then continuations. I guess these are getting moved onto Peacock. But Curious George season 13, Where's Waldo season 2, and AP Bio season 3.
Oh, they're renewing that terrible show. Oh God. AP Bio is just like obnoxious edgelord show.
They've got so much stuff in the pipeline though. Like Battlestar Galactica reboot, Punky Brewster reboot, Saved by the Bell reboot.
Yeah, I mean it definitely feels like this is a soft launch. Like this is like we're gonna put it out there and we're gonna kind of build stuff up on here, and then maybe they'll come out and have something really amazing and they'll heavily promote it then.
Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. You mentioned, because you brought up Days of Our Lives. I was curious. I looked up how many episodes there are.
Yeah.
13,897.
Wow.
Think of the website cost to host
insane.
that.
Oh my gosh. Do they have all the seasons?
Watch peek out. Watch them come out and say like, yeah, we have 6,000 half hours of content on here, like,
and it's all Days of Our Lives. No, the only thing I can see on the website version is they have season 55, and that's
okay.
So they don't have the other 54 seasons. Like, I know this show's been going since the 60s, but holy crap, that is a lot of television.
Man. Oh man.
Wow.
All right.
People say One Piece is bad.
Well, there you go. But I mean, there's definitely like Saturday Night Live has episodes on here that you can watch for completely free.
Ooh.
So there is definitely stuff on here, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right. In other news, let's see, what do we got here? Netflix is being sued. So Netflix actually has a sex and racial discrimination suit over pay of a comedy special. So let's see. A comedian named Monique basically was offered by Netflix a lowball amount on her comedy special, and she is suing them because she finds it to be discriminatory given what other comedians have been offered. Now, I don't claim to know anything about the actual goings on here, and I'm not about to take some sort of side or take or something. I just wanted to bring this up because it definitely is not a good look for Netflix, especially right now. What Monique says is I can confirm today I filed a pay discrimination lawsuit against Netflix. I had a choice to make. I could accept what I felt was a pay discrimination, or I could stand up for those who came who came before me and those who will come after me. I choose to stand up. I don't have any further comment at this time, but I appreciate all your love and support. And I just wanted to mention this just because it's interesting, and the entertainment industry is really rough when it comes to fair pay and what is fair pay. It's not something that can very easily be sussed out. Like sometimes actors are paid because of, well, a lot of times actors and comedians are paid because of their name, because of how
Yep.
marketable they are. And so I don't know. I find it interesting because I feel like this is bad press that Netflix. Honestly, if I was Netflix, I would offer her more. Basically, Netflix refused to settle it to just offer her more, or yeah. So it's the entertainment industry is filled with discrimination, and hopefully it's not Netflix too. But at
Yeah,
this
we'll just have
point,
to wait and see, I guess.
Hmm?
I was just saying we'll just have to wait and see, I guess, with what happens.
yeah, yep. But unfortunately, I mean, this sort of thing is incredibly hard to prove, because again, Netflix can always say that, well, you're not as big as Ellen, who we paid this, or you're not as big as Amy Schumer, who we paid this. It's very hard to pinpoint down actual discrimination and racism because of the way that these pay gaps happen. So, yeah, hopefully things get settled. But I just thought that was interesting. I also find it interesting because I feel like if Netflix was doing well, I don't understand why they wouldn't have just offered her more money.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like more negotiations were probably better than what's going on now. But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll have to wait and see, like I said.
Yeah. Apparently, allegedly, Netflix paid tens of millions of dollars to people like Amy Schumer, Ricky Gervais, and Ellen DeGeneres, Dave Chappelle. So, yep. Okay. And then what else do we have?
So, yeah, this is something that most of us already saw coming, so it's not like it's profound news or anything. But The Falcon and Winter Soldier, which was supposed to come out next month for Disney Plus, has been postponed until further notice because obviously their production, along with all of their other shows that were in production, have been delayed with what's going on. So, no idea when that's coming out. But the way I see it is that I don't know how well these Disney Plus shows are going to tie into the MCU. Like, is it going to matter? Was it going to matter if it came out before Black Widow or not? I don't know. Like, it's possible, but I think that the show's being delayed is probably beneficial if they are planning on tying it into some of the movies. Because I don't know, maybe if WandaVision came out too soon, it might mess up something in what I don't know, what Thor 4 or something, I don't know, but I figure this delay, it just makes sense. I mean, I'm not butthurt over it because we're used to things being delayed at this point. So it is what
I
it
mean,
is.
I think delay is the right option if it's either delay or do some sort of really cheap slap on fix.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw
Yeah.
the terrible looking CGI that happened on some sort of drama show towards
The
the beginning
Blacklist?
of COVID. Yeah, where they
Looks
they
so bad.
yeah, I mean, it looked like Roblox had invaded the show for a few minutes.
It
Like,
looked like a really bad GTA cutscene from the early 2000s.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, no,
dear.
it was horribly distracting, and it's like you could have probably just shown a black screen and just had the characters like just say their lines, record their lines at home and send it in, and that would be better than whatever happened. But yeah, I think releasing it later, but when they have more time and more resources or whatever to finish filming and finish everything they want to do with it is much better than releasing it now and having the special effects look garbage or having to use dumb quick fixes.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So that's good. I mean, it's not good that it's delayed, but like I said, I think it's preferable to the alternative. It's just a bummer that they couldn't get any of them out, WandaVision seemed especially like it was just like almost ready. Like they did Super Bowl ads. We've seen trailers, or at least a trailer. I don't know. I mean, that doesn't mean that they were done, but They seemed the fact that they announced it, I don't know. It's the fact that none of the Marvel shows have come out is just a bummer. It's a bummer.
I know, because we're all anxious to see.
Yeah,
them.
and especially now with the movies, all being delayed and everything. Like this would have been kind of like a nice thing to tide us over.
It's gonna be a while till I renew that Disney Plus subscription.
They're losing out on that Monsters revenue.
Oh yeah.
Well, as far as I know, The Mandalorian is still set. Season 2 is still set for October. That hasn't been changed. So, that one still might come out on time, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yep. And then, but there is some good news, right? A show, a new Star Wars show.
Yeah, the Bad Batch is a new animated Star Wars series that's going to be coming out in 2021. It's basically just like it's a spin-off of the Clone Wars, so anyone who likes the Clone Wars is probably going to be interested in this. And it's tying into the Star Wars canon, so if you're following that, definitely check that out.
Star Wars: The Brady Bunch. I'm excited.
The Brady Bunch.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm personally pretty excited for this. In season 7 of Clone Wars, I really liked the Bad Batch because that arc, at least for I think it was like 3 or 4 episodes, was just like a lot of action and there was some kind of emotional, complex character stuff, but a lot of it was just kind of under the guise of shooting up droids and nonsense action, and that's just one of my favorite things to watch. So if we get a whole series kind of like that, kind of like a G.I. Joe type thing, I am pretty interested to see how it turns out. And apparently it's also under the direction of Dave Filoni, who tends to churn out some pretty good stuff with Star Wars. One thing that is interesting is apparently this takes place post Order 66, which is interesting because these clones are obviously mutated so that they're genetically different from regular clones. So who knows how they'll be exempt from that event happening. Though I will say it is kind of interesting how, especially in the past couple of years with Star Wars media and various shows and video games, how there have been a lot more exceptions than we originally thought to Order 66. So,
what is Order 66?
Wait, do you actually not know?
I have a life, monsters. No, I'm not a big Star Wars nerd. Is it to kill all the clones?
It's where the Emperor orders all of the clones to turn on the Jedi and kill them.
Yeah, if you've seen Revenge of the Sith, there's like this big sad montage where
it's been a long time. It's been a real long time.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Execute Order 66.
66.
I've heard it as a meme. I just did,
Yep. And then Anakin goes to the temple and has fun with
Master Anakin. There are too many of them. What are we going to do?
Oh dear. And the Bad Batch is about a batch of clones?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. There's like a goofy one. There's like a Rambo type one. They're the Bad Batch.
And they're all going to be voiced by
D. Bradley Baker.
The same guy?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sure. From sitting at kind of outside like the Star Wars lexicon, it's real interesting.
Yeah.
Oh man. No, I know the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. It's not a story that the Jedi would tell you. But I'll tell you it. Listen, my connection to Star Wars right now, my closest connection is seeing prequel memes every so often on Reddit.
They're great.
Prequel memes are great.
Oh man. Yeah. In the ultimate twist of fate, the prequels were the best movies because they provided people with the most meme material.
I agree.
Oh boy. Okay. So that's the news. Are you guys ready to talk about Close Ingart?
That was close enough. But yeah, I mean,
all right, let's talk about Close Enough. Close Enough is a series by J.J. Quintel, creator of Regular Show, that was supposed to come out on TBS like 2 years ago, but didn't. And now it's on HBO Max instead. It's about a couple with a child who live with a divorced couple for financial reasons. and they get into hijinks related to being in their 30s and having a kid, and supernatural things happen sometimes. If you
Yep.
I assume this is what happened on regular show too, where there's like this weird escalation where like the characters will go to an open house and then the open house turns into like an existential sitcom horror.
Yes.
It's kind of, they do that on Gumball too. It's kind of a common setup for cartoons, right? Where things kind of start off in a relatively normal real life situation, and then there's just like one supernatural element that takes things up to 11.
Right.
But yeah, that's just kind of it. Most of the episodes are 11 minutes. I believe there was one 22-minute one.
Yeah, the last one.
Yep, and it's just kind of about this married couple and this divorced couple going on these adventures and trying to navigate life while being broke and in their 30s.
Adulting.
Except for the one that's 26.
Yeah.
So I did not watch most of regular show. It was not my thing. And so I didn't really know what to think of Close Enough when I first started watching it. Monsters, since you are a regular show connoisseur, please give your overview on Close Enough.
Kind of my thoughts.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You didn't consider that I was going to ask you for your thoughts?
No, I was just gonna tag along.
Oh, I didn't see Close Enough. I'm just here for support. Yeah. Just kidding. Go on, Monsters.
Yeah. So Close Enough. It's interesting because, yeah, as we talked about before, I'm a big fan of regular show. Kind of in the early 2010s, I viewed it like a diamond in the rough because Cartoon Network didn't have exactly bad shows going on at the time. Like in the late 2000s with like Flapjack and Chowder, but it was just kind of clear that they were going in a different direction. So in 2010, when they started with like Adventure Time and regular show, I felt like I found solace in it because I don't know, I just felt like it appealed to me on all fronts. And there's lots of pop culture references, wacky music montages. And yeah, like you said, the show kind of cranks it up to an 11 and has these weird supernatural fantasy elements where everything kind of starts out mundane and then the next thing you know, it's like, what just happened? So with that said, Close Enough is in every way kind of a spiritual successor to that show because everything I just listed is also in Close Enough. With that said, I think Close Enough is in some ways more tame than regular show, but in other ways not so much because I feel like, obviously the characters aren't animals or anything. They're human beings. The characters kind of feel more real. They feel more like people that I know in real life. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think it's more relatable in that way. And it's kind of grounded more in reality and dealing with real world problems.
At the beginning of the episode.
At the beginning of the episode, yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas regular show is obviously a kid's show, so in many ways it's exaggerated and there's lots of conflict and crazy shenanigans going on. And I think Close Enough has some of that stuff, but it just doesn't feel as extreme most of the time. And I also think, Close Enough isn't more tame in the way that it's for adults. So there's actual swearing this time. It just kind of seems like everything they couldn't get away with on regular show. There's swearing, there's innuendo, there's mention of illicit substances. So I guess to give my opinion, I thought it was pretty good. I'm not entirely sold on the characters yet. I mean, granted, it's the first season, so they haven't really marinated compared to like 8 seasons of regular show. I do think it borrows a lot, but I don't think it hides the fact that it's a regular show, or that it's similar to regular show. I think all of J.G. Quintel's work has been super self-referential and autobiographical, and it clearly references regular show a lot. So I don't think it's ashamed of the fact that it's close to regular show. But yeah, I mean, if you like regular show, I think you'd love Close Enough.
Okay. Shadow, how about your general feelings?
So the best way I can describe this show is I felt it's like It's like dubstep. And that sounds like a very weird comparison at first, but let me explain. So the way most dubstep songs are structured is you have your beginning introduction, which is it just kind of starts with a basic beat, just kind of gets you in the mood, it gives you kind of feel of what the song is going to be like. Then it goes on to the verse or the verse, which is kind of like where the build up starts, and then you get the actual build up to the drop, and then you get the drop, and that's basically how dubs. That's what it feels like Close Enough is in terms of its structure, because you start every episode has like a pretty straightforward premise. Like for example, there's an episode where Josh wants to be skate dad, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna teach my daughter to skate, and it's like, okay, yeah, that seems like a very basic premise, and you get the introduction. He goes to the store, and we're introduced to the main verse where we get the problem introduced, we figure out what's going on, and then things just get crazier and crazier and crazier as Josh tries to win his daughter's attention.
It's weird that you chose
this other guy's
It's weird that you chose that example, because I feel like that's the least insane episode.
Yeah, it's very wholesome compared to the other ones.
Yeah, I mean, and it ends with like a big skating down a big hill. Like that's
That
less
is true.
extreme than like robots coming
The Snell
to attack,
one.
or
Yeah.
or there being a talking dog boy. Like that's
I don't know, man. Your crotch being lit on fire, that's pretty extreme.
or there being a
But-
club where they murder anyone that's over a certain age. Like,
Well, the real reason I use that example is because I was gonna make a joke about the drop being him dropping down the hill, but you guys, I guess, jumped the gun.
well, I didn't
so
like your metaphor.
that joke's
No.
that joke's aborted. So, but yeah, that's my metaphor. Whether you like it or not, it's close enough.
Oh,
We don't.
Anyway, that's it for the
We don't
stream.
need to do that more than once. We've done that. We're good. Okay. Yeah. So I've seen like a little bit of regular show, and it wasn't really my jam. I think now as an adult, I probably would appreciate regular show a bit more than I did at the time, and I will admit I've only seen a very small handful of episodes, but kind of saw some promos for Close Enough and stuff, and it just didn't really seem like my sort of thing. And when I started watching it, it really wasn't my thing, to be honest. I felt kind of too young for the show and too old for the show at the same time, which is a weird feeling because sometimes the show can be like super immature with its jokes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like a lot of it is very much like, this is a relatable situation if you have a young child, and I don't, not in my 30s yet. I definitely relate to some of the stuff, but not all of it, not a lot of it. But as I went on watching it, the show kind of grew on me in a way that is hard for me to place. Like, I didn't come out of the show loving it or thinking like, oh man, I gotta get more episodes. But by the end of it, I definitely was like, I think I got it more. Like I kind of like got the vibe and was like, you know what, this is interesting. There's definitely a unique voice behind this. And I wouldn't mind watching more of it. Would I get HBO Max specifically to watch it? No, I don't think it's that good. And maybe it's just a product of it being season 1. Like maybe it could get better. And it probably will. But I think that there is a real foundation here. And yeah, I liked it. I liked it. I liked it. I do think that one of the issues is that the show doesn't do a great job of setting itself up. The first episode is not a setup episode. I mean, the first episode does technically, it shows you all the characters, including the landlord neighbors. It kind of gets you into a little bit of the dynamics of the house is wacky because there's so many people living there, but it doesn't explain who these people living with them are, why they're living with them. I guess if you pay really close attention to the intro, it shows you, but it doesn't explain like what their relationship is. In fact, I didn't know until the very last episode that Josh and Alex were like high school friends. Yeah. Like I kind of thought it was implied that they just found two strangers online and they just partnered up with them to live in this house together. You know, like it doesn't really establish them, or nor does it establish the characters very well up front. It does kind of feel like it's just like regular show characters.
Well, I don't know, because like I think one of the reasons why I really liked regular show was kind of the binary between Mordecai and Rigby. Now, I feel like J.G. Quintel is both Mordecai and Josh, because they're both kind of like these lanky. They're kind of shy at points, but they're just kind of like the normal like straight man. And it doesn't help that they're also both voiced by J.G. But in regular show, there was like a big contrast between Mordecai and Rigby. Mordecai was kind of this dude who had potential to do something big, but Rigby is constantly always doing the wrong thing, and he has anger issues. And Mordecai could like advance in life and not stay kind of down low working these minimum wage part jobs with Rigby, but he chooses to stay down there because he's a good friend. And I think that they started to expose the framework of some character dynamics like that, but they just kind of seem like casual friends, and maybe that's because they're adults and they're more mature than Mordecai and Rigby. They're just kind of they act more responsibly in some circumstances, but yeah, I haven't felt a strong bond between characters yet, and close enough.
My breakout character was Alex, and I don't say that just because my name is Alex. I'm a pretty big Jason Mantzoukas fan. He loves to just show up in random things and scream a lot and act wacky, and I definitely like. I don't know. His character definitely grew on me, like big time. I could see him being the I don't know, just kind of like the breakout weirdo of the show.
Yeah.
This
This feels kind of like, as opposed to regular show, this feels like a sitcom almost, because there's, even though it's 11-minute format for the most part, it starts with like a cold open in each episode, and yeah, it's kind of like a family show, based around people living in the same house and their day-to-day lives. Whereas regular show, it's also not serialized except for the last season, but it's more of just kind of this random, wacky, absurd thing.
Guys, it's not my name reveal. This has been common knowledge. I just don't really talk about it that much, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like the show works really well for 11 minutes, and I think it's very rare. Does this ever happen that there's an adult cartoon that's 11 minutes?
Not really. There's like Robot Chicken,
Not
but that's the
really.
only one I can think of.
Right. Some of the surreal Adult Swim stuff, but the mainstream ones like BoJack, Family Guy, Simpsons, Bob's Burgers, so many of these ones, especially all the ones modeled after the Simpsons, Rick and Morty, they go with the 22 minutes, and a lot of times it kind of feels like they stretch things, like they have to have B and C plots, and they have to really stretch. Like the Simpsons really stretches to make a half hour in a lot of episodes, by including having a first act that has like almost nothing to do with the rest of the show. But I really like the fact that it's 11 minutes for close enough, because I never really felt like an episode needed more time. And actually, I would probably argue that the Dog Boy one is probably like the worst episode because it overstays its welcome, in terms of the jokes and everything. Do you get it? They like Jim Carrey movies.
Especially Cable Guy.
Okay, like, does this show feel like weirdly dated to you guys, or is that just me? Like the
No,
fidget spinner,
so-
the Harlem Shake reference.
I mean, that
think?
stuff was I think they did like Gangnam Style too, but fidget
Uh-huh.
spinners were a thing in 2017.
Yeah, when this show was like being made and produced, that was what was popular at that time. But obviously, because it got put off for like 2.5, 3 years, a lot of those jokes are kind of already outdated.
Oh, gosh, it's
So
almost like it probably shouldn't rely on things being highly topical in a cartoon.
that was my number one problem with watching this show, is that I picked up on things like that where I'm just kind of like, am I ever gonna want to go back and watch this like in the future? And I think, like, I don't know.
You
I'm not
wait, you
really-
think it was
I'm
so
not-
bad that it ruined the man? Powerpuff Girls has ruined you. Like,
It
no, I found it
No.
annoying and distracting, but I would not say that like there being a fidget spinner in an episode is like, oh well, I can never watch Close Enough again. I thought it felt
No,
dated,
that's-
but not show ruining levels. But go on.
No, it doesn't ruin the show for me, but it's just like it doesn't do anything. Like, if anything, I just skipped that episode. Like, especially, like, don't get me wrong, I thought the part of the VIP episode where the guys get like sucked up into the fan, that's like hilarious. But I could do without all the YouTube lingo, and this was like it was.
Dab. Do you
Kinda like
remember
the We Bare
Dab?
Bears thing.
She's dabbing.
Well, I think a
Yeah.
part of it is showing how these characters are transitioning from kind of like young adults into parents, and like they're starting to realize that they are out of touch with this hip, trendy young lingo.
Do you think it was done ironically? Because I don't feel like it was done that ironically.
I don't think it was. It didn't come across that way. Like, I felt like especially with We Bare Bears, the movie from last week, like that opening sequence where they're doing the viral video, like that felt more ironic to me than this did.
Well, I mean, I think some of it was ironic, like the kid that Bridget's talking to, who's like 26 months old,
God.
at the bar.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Can we not talk about that?
That was a little strange.
The second episode involves a character dating a 2-year-old. Or sorry, heavily making out with a 2-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, there's context behind it, certainly. I'm not trying to get the show canceled, but I'm just saying it was kind of a weird move for that to be like one of the introductory. That was like the introduction to that character. And I kind of feel like of the main 5, I guess, with the daughter, I don't know her name. What's her name? Bridget? Candace? No, Bridget. The divorced girl.
Yeah, Bridget.
Yeah,
okay, sorry.
Bridget.
Yeah. I felt that her character was the least interesting.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. I honestly didn't care for her.
Yeah.
Here's a question. Why are they living together if they're divorced? Other than LOL Modern Family. Do they address it at all on the show?
Yeah, they kind of talk about how because there's an episode where they find dates, but it's heavily implied throughout some of the episodes that even though they are divorced, there are still some strings attached. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's fair. I don't know. I guess I just feel like that's something that maybe they should have established in the first episode.
I mean, it's unique.
Yeah.
You don't see a lot of other shows that do that.
True. But she's also rich, so why would she be living with them?
Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There's definitely a lot of backstory to these characters that I'd be kind of interested in.
Yeah, we learned the most about Josh. With kind of his childhood growing up with doing things like skating and his relationship with his dad and
video game,
kind of his beginnings in developing video games and how he kind of works at like a Best Buy knockoff now.
No, he works at the Geek Squad portion.
Yeah.
Which I found funny. That's something that's really cool about the show. There is definitely real humanity and real relatable things in certain elements of it in a way that I don't know that a lot of other shows have.
Right. I wish we learned more about Emily because besides being a mom, I feel like there's not much substance there.
She plays guitar, but we don't know why did she learn, what's her, does she want to be a musician? She writes parody songs, but it's not really, yeah. Are the two main characters married? Yeah, the two main characters are married. And it's cool. I mean, it's cool seeing a new generation of parents. I don't know. You don't see. I guess because a lot of shows that have young kids, like The Simpsons or whatever, have been going on for so long that they don't feel like a current day family. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they feel like they're part of their aesthetic is stuck in the 90s or the early 2000s or whatever. I mean, even Bob's Burgers has been going on for 12 years or something. So it feels like a lot of those shows are kind of stuck in the past a bit, whereas this feels like an actual modern take, so to speak.
Right. It's almost kind of like a subversion because, these aren't perfect parents. They're not like textbook trope. Like it's not like dumb dad and housewife mom. Like it's very modern and kind of like a time capsule of millennials trying to
Right.
adult.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, in that way, I kind of relate. But yeah, I don't know. What about the comedy of the show?
It's the same comedic timing as regular show. Just in kind of delivery and the types of jokes that they use. And I mean, there's not as many catchphrases except like wow, wow, wee, wah. There's that.
Oh, that's a good point, Pete of Dawn, is that like the parents on Close Enough are young. They're meant to be like early 30s, not like, 40 or like late 30s.
Right.
And culturally, even if they are early 30s, they could kind of fit anywhere within that like millennial parent thing. thing that people do, having kids and all that.
That thing,
That disgusting childbearing thing. And I mean, it does a really good job at kind of showing that although they're parents, they're still people too. It doesn't really idolize them as parents. They are. I don't want to say that they're like adult children, but there's definitely like a youthfulness to them that is really neat. I kind of hope that Josh doesn't fall into that dumb dad stereotype because he is kind of a goofy guy, and I could definitely see like a few more seasons of the show, and he's just dumbed down to dumb dad levels.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't get to that point because I like Josh, at least from what he's at now. I think that if they do the right thing, I think he can be a great character. But yeah, if he goes down that route, I'm gonna be like super depressed. So
something weird I want to mention, and this has nothing to do with what I feel about the show. I watched this show entirely with closed captioning. I started watching the first episode, and maybe I was tired or whatever, but I was like, yeah, I don't know. I just felt like turning it on, and that was my preferred way of viewing it throughout, and I thought it was pretty cool.
Great.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah, I see. I watched it all. I watched it all last week, and I rewatched a few episodes today. But it even though I didn't come out loving the show, it did capture something. Like I did feel like it was like I want to keep watching this. I don't know. I didn't love it, but I think it did kind of offer something unique. I mean, despite the similarities with regular show, I do feel like it being an 11-minute adult cartoon that is about a family, but it isn't aggressively like Simpsons-y or Family Guy-y or Cleveland Show, American Dad, Bob's Burgers, King of the Hill. Like it isn't like family with multiple kids and they're older people and it's set in the 90s. Like I don't know, it kind of was nice, and it was nice to see them. I guess it was nice to see a lot of kind of like kid show isms applied to an adult show, which is not something you see a lot of.
Yeah.
Like there is certainly raunchiness in the show, but I wouldn't say the show is defined by its raunchiness.
Not at all.
How bizarre is it seeing the Cartoon Network Studios logo on the end of this though?
That was like really weird. Like I was like not.
Isn't that on Primal too?
It might be. Well, Cartoon Network Studios it's a production house. Like it.
Right.
It is. Yep.
They make shows for Cartoon Network, but not always. Apparently. It's kind of funny that they didn't want to put this on Adult Swim. Like, why was this going to go to TBS?
I read into it a little bit, and yeah, once the TBS animation block fell through because of the Louis C.K. stuff, the show was kind of in limbo, and this was happening at the same time as the AT&T merger, where they were buying Warner Media, and from that point, they were immediately kind of laying the groundwork for a streaming service that was big, and before they really figured out what they were going to do with the show, they were like, "Oh, like this can be an exclusive." So
that's fair. Yeah, I just feel like it could have been one of those Adult Swim shows that aired like right at the beginning of the block. One that's not horribly inappropriate for children. One of those like Futurama, right? Like one of those shows that kind of transitions between Cartoon Network and Adult Swim.
Right, and it's in 11 minutes too. Like it's easy to kind of move around the schedule.
Yeah. Oh, and that's a great point, Invader Pez. That although it's about a family, it's not a family where like everyone kind of hates each other. Like that's the thing. I feel like this is a very warm show. You know, even the divorced couple kind of shows a lot of warmth towards each other. And even though definitely Josh and Emily are kind of not the happiest about having to live with this like divorced couple, there definitely does seem to be like they actually do care about each other, and not in like a deep down way. You know,
Right.
you would kind of think, like, looking at the premise, that it's like maybe it's like this more traditional family is just stuck living with these dysfunctional divorced weirdos and how ruined their life is because of it. But no, I mean, the title of the show is close enough, and the idea behind it is that they're not the perfect family, but they're close enough. And that's kind of like the thing, is that they're I don't know, they're trying, like they're happy-ish with where they are, and they're not in a perfect situation, but it's fine. It's good enough.
They're making the most of it.
Right.
Mhm.
There doesn't seem to be like hate and animosity between them, and that's really neat. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend you go out and get HBO Max to see this show, but if you have HBO Max and you're interested in an adult cartoon that's a little different, I would recommend it.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. It still feels like HBO Max does not have that heavy hitter, but it's a good show, and I did enjoy a lot of it. Um, Overall, it's again, I also don't have the regular show frame of reference so much. I've seen a few episodes here and there, and like I can definitely tell with some of the humor that there's similarities, but I would be willing to bet that if you like regular show, you'll probably like this, and it's a good time. So give it a shot.
Yeah, I second that. To be entirely honest, I'm probably going to get rid of HBO Max in the near future, just because now that this is out, and there's nothing really keeping me on there. Maybe if they added like the 4th season of Rick and Morty, I'd hold on to it, but who knows when or if that's going to happen. But yeah, close enough. It's good. If you really wanted to, regular show I believe is also on HBO Max in full, and the movie, so you could binge that and then also binge Close Enough.
Yep.
Close Enough has definitely made me more interested in regular show than I ever have been. And since I have HBO Max, at least until that review comes out, then we'll see. But since I have it, I might check it out, honestly.
I can give you some episode recommendations if you want, because
No, I'm gonna watch it in reverse order, starting with the movie.
Don't do that. Do not do that. Do not do that.
I will explicitly watch it in the absolute worst possible way, and then blame the show for it.
Yes. And I mean, regular show, like, you look at Cartoon Network and kind of like incubators of talent, right? And like Flapjack had a lot of creative people on it who went on to go make their own great shows, and Johnny Bravo kind of had similar qualities. Regular show was also kind of like that. It had Toby Jones, I believe his name is, who went on to do some stuff with OKKO. Owen Dennis, who went on to do some stuff with Infinity Train. Yeah, it's a great show, and honestly, I think I have to give Close Enough a 0 out of 10 because they didn't send me a press pack. But whoa, yeah, no, I deserve one. I have given so much unpaid promotion to regular show. No, I'm joking, but no, it really is a great show.
Monsters,
What?
They would have want you to made a video if they sent that to you.
Making a video.
Do you know what that's like? Do you know how to?
No,
Okay.
I don't.
Yeah, that's probably why. But...
I feel like in the last, in the period between now and the last time I made a video, like, children have been born.
Close Enoughs have been aired.
Yes.
Man.
But yeah, it really is like a wholesome, heartwarming series at its core. It's fun to watch. It has a lot of those same regular show traits of, like licensed music, wacky montages, and 80s pop culture references.
Oh, so much 80s pop culture. That's a part of why I felt a little bit too young. Not just because it's like a family with a kid and I don't have one of those yet, but Also, the amount of references to like the 80s and early 90s, and like, there's a lot.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is a really good series. I do think it needs some more time for me to uh, kind of develop some more permanent feelings on it.
Hmm.
Like I think that there is a second season in production. But yeah, I think it's good for what it is. If you like regular show, you will love Close Enough.
And HBO Max is a decent home for it. I mean, I mentioned Adult Swim would have been decent, but uh, you know, this is the sort of thing that catches less flack. Because there might be of just stupid people out there that would be mad that like it's like regular show but for adults, so kids are gonna watch it, and it's like, no, they're not. Calm down. Um, but being on a streaming service kind of lets them do what they want, and I could definitely see them being a little bit more vulgar. Like they censored a few words, I believe,
Yeah,
or at least having a little more freedom to do just kind of whatever they want. Um,
yeah.
so.
I did rank the episodes, by the way, too.
Oh, okay.
My favorite episode was Skate Dad.
Interesting.
Like it was the least bizarre one. But I don't know. I thought the kind of the heartfelt story of Josh trying to have some father daughter time that he was neglected from with his own dad was just a great story. And I forget the skater's name, but just kind of like that, like he was cool and he wasn't
The goop.
the Goog. They almost kind of hint like he's going to be some sort of antagonist. But he was a
He's
cool
just
character.
a guy. Yeah, he's just a guy that
He's
works
like a
at the
cool
skate
skater
shop.
dude.
Yeah.
That was my favorite episode.
It was like a
Um,
one-way rivalry.
Yeah. Some of my other favorites were Golden Gamer. That's the one where like his old video game character comes to life. And it's also the one where like Alex becomes a viral media star because he like tries to relate to his college students. And First Date was another really good one where they kind of get psychologically tortured.
Mhm.
And then some of my least favorites, Prank Wars. I thought that one was just a little bit dry. The one
What
where
was that even?
there's like a guy hiding in the bush,
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah, and they're just trying to prank each other, and it's not really much there. Room Parents, some of it was all right. I liked kind of how crazy the action got, but kind of the bait and switch was like I saw it coming from a mile away.
Mhm.
And then Cool Moms, I wasn't really a big fan of that one.
Mm.
I don't know what it was about it, but it just felt very cliche, and nothing about it really stood out.
Yeah. Um. Okay. Yeah. My. Where'd you put the Dog Boy one?
I had that towards the top. I think I had that at
Really?
number 3. The canine guy, yeah, I had that at number 3 out of 15. I liked it.
His name was Dog Boy. The canine guy.
No, that was the name of the episode.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did you think of the Weird Al cameo? Because I know that you love Weird Al.
Oh, I love Weird Al. That was funny. But yeah, the rest of the episode I kind of felt went on for too long, and they like Jim Carrey movies. Isn't that
Yeah.
funny? Like, I don't associate medieval times with Jim Carrey or the Cable Guy, but they sure do.
Another point, I wish we kind of got more of Pearl and Randy.
Yeah,
we-
they're like mother and son.
Yes, Randy, I believe, is Pearl's adopted son,
Mm.
and we get a little bit about them. Like, there's an episode where she goes missing, and they go out to the desert to rescue her, and it's very it's very
They
interesting.
like murder people.
Yeah,
It's very
and
weird.
there's a lot of nudity. So there's that, and then also we learn certain things like how Pearl used to be a police officer and
FBI agent, I
did these
think, actually.
investigations. Yeah. So I don't know. I just wish that we had more of them. I know that they're not the main focus, and they're just kind of people who also happen to live in the same property. But
Well, they're the support. I mean, it's like them and the teacher, right? Those are the recurring
Yeah.
supporting characters. I don't know that any other character recurs.
right,
Um,
maybe like Emily's boss.
yeah, that guy. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the show kind of straddles this line where like there's definitely a level that of the ridiculousness that kind of just like borders into stupid territory. Like, what did you guys think of the timeshare episode with with Candace learning how to write
tutor.
correctly? Yeah, with the robot tutor that ends up taking over everything, and then she just like stops it because she can read. Like, I don't know how to feel about that. That's borderline either just so ridiculous it's funny, or just kind of like so out there that it just stops being an entertaining story and just becomes like, well, you're just making random crap up.
I liked it. I think a lot of my enjoyment from that and regular shows just when they go absurd. Like in the Room Parents episode, when they're doing that train chase, I don't remember the exact scene or what was happening in it, but I just remember there was just like a bunch of unnecessary explosions.
Yes.
And just, you know, that sort of humor I really like.
Mm-hmm.
Where it just goes like overboard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the timeshare one worked out. But I'm just not sure that all of it did. The open house episode I kind of found I've seen a lot of episodes with characters trapped in sitcoms at this point. DuckTales has done it, Mr. Robot's done it. Like both in drama, comedy, animate. Like I've seen it in a lot of
Video
things.
Game High School did it.
Yeah, I've seen it in a lot of things, and I'm not saying you can never do it again, but I'm just saying I've seen it, so there needs to be something a little more interesting to it, and it really wasn't that interesting. And it was like,
episode reminded me of SB129 for some reason. I guess
Really?
maybe because they were trapped in like some sort of weird abstract void
also
that
like
they couldn't
what
control.
a Hannah Montana reference. That's what these people can come up with.
That was
like
a little-
I
that was a
wouldn't
little
say it
weird.
was
Yeah.
like overtly Hannah Montana. It could have been like a JoJo Siwa. Like
her
there's a lot
name
of
was an intentional reference in that it was a state that rhymed.
yeah.
I'm not saying the character was anything like her, but the
Right.
name, I was just like really, we're still doing this? Like, does anyone?
I mean, it is
remember-
for adults. I don't know.
Okay, I mean, I'm just saying you couldn't. Yeah, how about like a play on JoJo Siwa or something, like something from this decade?
You know what? No, I'll take Hannah Montana over that. I'm gonna be honest. I'll take Hannah Montana over that.
Okay. Or what was it? It was like Renee Tennessee or something. See, I don't even remember it. I just
what
remember that it was
I don't.
stupid.
So it wasn't a memorable
Yeah,
joke.
it was dumb.
Yeah.
Was that dude Tom Kenny, by the way?
Who, Dave or whatever
Yeah.
his name was? I don't know.
Fake Dave Coulier. I don't know, man. I usually eat up sitcom parodies that make fun of sitcoms, but it's just like they went for all of like the lowest jokes of like, wow, people are laughing. Where's that laughing coming from? And like the stuff in the fridge is just pictures.
I did find it interesting though how like I don't know, I felt like there was a little bit of a deeper layer on it, just kind of like escaping real world problems in this weird kind of messed up dimension.
I like the concept behind it. And yeah, an open house is when people go and pretend that they can, you pretend like you're the people that can afford that kind of house. So I liked it. I just didn't think the execution was anything other than just like, oh, okay, we're doing this, and then it was over. That one could have been the 22-minute episode, maybe. And then it could have been.
Her name was Mona Arizona.
God. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say every episode is golden, but it's an interesting watch. I definitely felt that there was something there. There's something to this show, and hopefully they harness it with their second season, and they I don't know, they come back even stronger. They hit on the stuff that worked and maybe move away from some of the stuff that didn't.
Yeah, now that they know that they are on a streaming service.
Yeah. We'll get Emily stuck in a streaming service next time. I don't know that I've ever seen that episode.
There's an episode where instead of going on YouTube for kids, she goes on regular YouTube, and like a Jake Paul ripoff tries to sell her merch.
Oh dear. I could see that being an episode where Candace gets like addicted to those YouTube kids channels, and they have to like save her. She gets sucked in.
Well, they referenced like kind of Ryan's Toys review, right? Where she would like, Josh was like, "What are you doing?" And she was like preferring to watch an unboxing video over actually playing with a toy.
Yeah. Biting satire.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, no, I mean, I definitely will chalk a little bit of the datedness up to the fact that this show got delayed. So hopefully they'll come back stronger and even more topical. And I don't know, maybe that's just a part of the core of the show, and that yeah, if they are contrasting, late 80s and 90s and these characters' childhoods and all that stuff, then they do kind of need like modern day childhood to contrast with it. It's just tough because you can reference things without referencing trends, Like I feel like, like Josh working at like a fake Geek Squad is like that is like a modern topical, not topical, but that's just kind of like a modern real world mundane thing that isn't specifically tied to like right this year.
Right.
Like yeah, like Candace watching unboxing videos is not specifically tied to like one point in time, even though it's a modern thing.
Right. I felt that.
Like when you look at.
Sorry, you go.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say, when you look at something like a fidget spinner, you're like 2017, Gangnam Style, 2012. Like instantly when you see like an icon or something, that's more of like along the lines, or a meme. Like that's where it's like not really a fan of that. But like as Pi said, like things that are taking place in the modern day, like I don't care if characters are on a tablet or if they're wearing, like modern AirPods or Google Glasses or whatever, like just modern technology generically. I'm just not a fan of like the extremely specific this point in time stuff, that it just feels like there's a disconnect.
Yeah, like no me gusta.
Yeah,
no me gusta.
Me.
No, but yeah, no. I felt like, especially in the Skate Dad episode, when Josh like walks into the skate shop and he tries using all of this like dated like 90s Tony Hawk lingo, but then like all these dudes have like their own new things going on, and he like I do feel that contrast.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that was a good discussion.
Yeah. One more point I want to make is that I feel like they definitely made this show for themselves. Like it doesn't feel like they're trying to pander or anything. And J.G. Quintel's work has always kind of felt like he was taking things from his own life and experiences and putting them into a cartoon. But yeah, this feels very much like the writers were just kind of basing a lot of this on what they have personally dealt with.
That might be why I feel that there's something here that's hard to place. I do think it is like a person, or even the teams, just kind of like personal making jokes that make them laugh and including references that interest them, and it does feel like a very personal, not very corporate show. Yeah, and that's, again, I like the fact that it doesn't just try to rip off the Simpsons formula or whatever. Does kind of say something, because that's so many adult shows do it. And I'm not saying that you can't have a show about like a dumb dad and his nagging wife and his two kids, boy and girl, and maybe baby. Like, I'm not saying you can't do that, but it's just like so many shows want to do similar things to that anything that can kind of break out of that mold and do something a little different, even in just the different 11-minute format, like I salute it for doing that. And I think that there is definitely something here, even if I'm not in love with the whole picture.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You guys ready for some cues to A?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So if you guys have any questions to ask Shadow, myself, or Monsters Review special guest star.
Yeah, I'm only here for a limited time only. Copyright trademark.
Monsters Review is like close enough. You hear about it, and then he goes away for a few years, and then he's back in full force. Oh dear.
All right, so I'll start with some questions in the Discord. Oh, well, actually, we just got a super chat, so we can do that one first.
Thank you, Tim Whitfield, for the super chat. Have we ever seen Goof Troop and or a Goofy movie? And Monsters, have you seen or heard about old shows Happy Days, Family Matters, or Dallas? I've seen a Goofy movie. I have not seen much of Goof Troop. And it's been a while since I've seen a Goofy movie. But Goof Troop is on like one of those things on Disney Plus that I want to watch.
I really like a Goofy movie. It's one of my all-time faves.
Nice.
It's a great movie. I really like it.
How about you, Monsters?
I've seen a Goofy movie, and I've seen the second one as well. It's been a very long time. I haven't seen any of Goof Troop. I haven't heard. I think I've heard of Dallas. I've never seen it. I've seen a little bit of Happy Days. That's the one with Ron Howard and the Fonz, right?
Hey.
Yeah. I've seen a little bit of that. I'm the most familiar out of those three with Family Matters and Urkel, and yeah.
Okay. Oh wow! Thanks for the super chats, guys. Gian Bailey says thoughts on
Schaeferless.
productions. Yes. I have never seen any of his videos. He's the shiny guy, right, from Moana.
Yep.
Yeah, I've never seen any of his videos.
I've seen a few. I like them. They're good.
Yeah, I've seen a few of them too. A lot of them are about like CG movies, especially from DreamWorks. So I haven't seen a lot of those, but the most recent video of his I've seen was it was like a ranking of the segments in the Tales of Ba Sing Se episode from Avatar.
Oh,
And I thought that was pretty interesting. So
what was his ranking?
um
Remake the video right now.
Yeah, do it.
yeah, I don't remember.
Iroh's tail better have been number 1.
I don't think it was.
Oh, well, now I have different
I
thoughts.
think the
Now
Zuko
Pi's
story was
never
number
gonna
1.
watch 'em.
Okay, Zuko's was pretty good, but like, come on. Iroh's is so great, and then it ends with that really sad moment.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all good. Like, there's not a bad one, but if I had to rank them lower, probably like maybe Momo's at the bottom, and then Aang's, and then Sokka's, and then Katara and Toph's, and then Zuko's, and then Iroh's. Okay. Anyway, we have another super chat from Bacon Toasty. Thoughts on Slinkman, sir?
Master Lampus. Love Tom Kenny.
It's Lumpus. Oh, that was no. Never mind. That was a nope. Nope. That's done. That's not a voice I can do. Oh man, I think it's crazy impressive that Tom Kenny did Slinkman and Lumpus.
Yeah, and Carlos Alazraki did Clam and Laszlo, and Jeff Bennett did a problematic accent.
Oh dear. And then Mr. Lawrence.
Yep, Edward.
Edward. Yep.
Yep.
Do you hate Disney as a company? From No, I Am Not Him. Monsters, please answer.
Do I hate them as a company?
Yeah, not as a
like,
person. Not as Walt Disney.
Well, I mean, I gotta say, I don't agree. This was a running thing on the recast. Yeah, no, like I don't agree with a lot of the things they do business wise. Obviously, I think the live action remakes are a hot button issue. And we didn't stray away from talking about that, but I mean, they do some good stuff. Content wise, the only thing that I don't like about them really is the fact that they are so big and they own such a share of the industry that it's controlling, and I wish that there was a little bit more diversification.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't say that I hate Disney, but I'm also not like a fanboy of theirs either. They make some decisions that I shake my head at and are just typical bad big business rolling over the little guy decisions, like with their copyright stuff. And then they make some decisions that are genuinely good. They make some genuinely really good stuff. Yeah. They also sometimes do honestly really good stuff for people and aren't as evil as some other companies, at least.
Yeah, I'd say compared to other movie studios, Disney by far has the most loyalists. Like, they have their own like official fan club where it's like over $1,000 a year to get like the premium membership, and there's all these VIP events, and some people take Disney very, very seriously, like spending ridiculous amounts of money going to the theme parks every year and wearing all of these Disney clothes. You don't really see that with like Universal or Sony.
Excuse me, the Minions exist. I don't know. No.
Don't remind
Yeah,
me.
I think I don't know. I think it's a problem that we as a society have, where we look at these big businesses and treat them like they're a person, right? Like they're either a good guy or a bad guy. And in a lot of cases, I mean, yes, companies can be overwhelmingly good or bad, but in a lot of cases, they're a big entity with a lot of branches, and sometimes they do ethical things and sometimes they do unethical things, and it's best to call them out when you can and when you see it, and and then don't let that stop you from enjoying the good things they do.
Yep. That's my take as well. I just, if they make something good that I like, then I watch it. If they make something bad or they do something bad, I'm not afraid to criticize.
Yeah,
That's really all it is.
it's also hard to place blame when the company is made up of thousands of people.
Well, and that's the problem with companies.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be ethical if you can just diffuse the decision making on a bunch of other people. From Animation is Key, what voice impressions could you guys do?
Oh boy.
I'm gonna pass, but Shadow, go ahead, do your favorite.
Okay, well, I can do him, but I'm not gonna right now because I've not done my him voice in such a long time, and I also
come on,
like having the effects.
All right,
No,
all right. Well, the other one you do. Do the one that creeps me out.
Which one's the one
you know the one that creeps me out? It's related to Disney.
Oh my gosh. Why am I drawing a blank right now? I should know.
What character is associated with Disney? Yep, your Woody from Toy Story impression.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Buzz Lightyear, get back! No. Okay, there we go.
That's all. Sounded like Mickey a little bit.
Mickey Mouse!
Yeah,
Mickey Mouse, talk!
That's the idea. He does a creepy Mickey Mouse voice.
Oh, gosh.
I don't like it. It's pretty good.
Did you say creepy? I don't know what you're talking about. Huh? Yeah, I've not done a lot of my voices in a long time, so I'm a little rusty, but I can also do Fredberger.
Oh, give it to us. Come on.
Yes!
That's
was
pretty
bad.
good. No,
wow, that was terrible.
That was good.
Say, Judge,
Yes.
where are the nachos?
Judge, where are the nachos?
Say you have to make poo-poo.
I have to make poo-poo!
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Monsters, I'm
need to
I'm
practice
pretty sure you
voices
could do
again.
one or two really good ones.
Yeah. I feel like I'm on the spot a little bit.
Peter
There's
from
a few
Family Guy.
No, definitely not. I don't know. I can do some. I'm not really like great with any, but like I can do an all right Ray Romano. I can do an all right Kermit the Frog. I can do like a bad but reasonable sounding Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
Yeah, that's it. Doofenshmirtz.
Do Doofenshmirtz, please.
What do you want me to say?
Ah,
yes, Perry the Platypus. I will now envelop you.
Talk about
Yeah,
your
it is.
your stream soda-inator.
Yeah.
I will now unveil to you my stream soda-nator.
Engulfing the tri-state area and soda.
Curse you, Perry the Platypus.
Oh man.
I can do that. I can do like a bad Hank Hill.
Yes.
I can do like a bad Rick Sanchez.
Morty.
Oh, I was expecting you to do it.
Well, I was in. I don't know if you guys have seen. There's an account called Daily Duncan Chino on Twitter, and there was one video clip that got uploaded to it where it's Rick Sanchez, and most of it is Justin Roiland's voice, but at the very end he says Dunkin' Donuts, and that's me doing Rick Sanchez.
Wow.
I'm not great with Rick Sanchez and like Morty themselves, but I'm good at doing Justin Roiland's
How about
kind of like
Mr. Poopy Butthole?
whiny, like oh god, yeah, I'm Justin Roiland, I'm doing the thing in the VO booth. Like I can do that.
Ooh-wee.
That's pretty good.
That was pretty
Yeah.
good. That was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I can do a little bit of a Carl Weezer.
Yes.
Jimmy, I like llamas, and I like Jimmy's mom.
Say croissant.
Croissant.
Yes.
Are you going to finish that croissant?
Oh my god.
Oh,
That's amazing.
perfect. That's good. That's really
Okay, we've got it.
We'll speak about one. Save it later.
We've got a new super chat from Bacon Toasty. Camp Lazlo or Billy and Mandy?
Come on.
Camp Lazlo.
Well, going off of the Invaded special, which is like the only experience I have with
Ooh.
either show in recent times. No, I don't know. Billy and Mandy, and I think we've said this before, is like it's one of those shows where it's like if I go back to it, I know I'm not gonna like it as much as I did.
I gotta say Camp Lazlo. As
So-
much as I'm not a fan of it, I feel like it annoys me less than Billy and Mandy.
Billy and Mandy annoys you.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
As an adult, I don't get it anymore. As a kid, I loved the show.
Yeah, I mean, I like Billy and Mandy. I think it's super quirky. I love kind of like the gothic influence that it has, and yeah, so many of the characters are great, like Irwin and Hostel Gatto and Fred Burger.
You can do wait, can't you do a pretty good Irwin? Or you know what? Maybe never
Hey,
mind.
Mandy, what's up, yo? Like, no, I can't. But
What's up, yo?
what's up, yo? Yeah, yeah, I like, but Camp Lazlo, that takes the cake.
Here's a good question from the Glad and Gladiator. Great name, by the way. Favorite DVD bonus feature from when you were a kid? Could be a game, behind the scenes documentary, or anything. Theirs is Timon and Pumbaa's virtual safaris in the Lion King special edition.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be my answer. That was what I was gonna say. I love those. Those were so much fun.
You know what? Oh, interesting.
What was the answer?
Yes, I do know what that is. So the Lion King.
Now, what is the Lion King?
King 2. Well, it's this movie that came out in 2019.
Yes.
It's very emphasized on photorealism.
Okay.
No, the DVDs for all three of those movies came with this like virtual safari thing where you basically use the remote and you could every so often you'll come to a crossroads and you can use the remote to pick, oh, I'm going left or I'm going right and whatever. And it had commentary from Timon and Pumbaa, who were essentially on the Jeep or boat or whatever vehicle you were in with you. And you could choose which way you'd go in and play this little CGI movie thing as you go along. And it was a lot of fun. And they had a lot of references to various aspects of Disney. Like there was this one where you go in this room and it's a reference to the Haunted Mansion ride at Disney World. And then you go on another one and it's a reference to the Winnie the Pooh ride at Disney World. And then there's like one where you get attacked by a snake. And there's another one where you fall down Pride Rock. And there's all sorts of different things. It's a lot of fun. I absolutely love those. I remember I'd just get on the DVD and just play those for like 2 hours. So yeah, that's my answer. Yep.
Mine's got to be so. On the Avatar Season 2 bonus disc, there's a little interview with M. Night Shyamalan. No, my favorite, honestly, has to be the Simpsons commentaries. So basically, on all of the Simpsons DVDs, they do commentaries on every episode, and Matt Groening's in almost all of them, and they get a lot of the really influential people. I can't say how they are in like the later seasons, but at least for the first 10 seasons, it's really interesting to hear their process. Sometimes they'll go on and kind of talk about like where they felt they didn't execute the episode as well as it could be. Sometimes they go on to defend controversial episodes. Sometimes they just talk about the writing process or the guests or whatever. There's commentaries on like every single episode, and it really is insightful. In a lot of cases, I go back to the commentaries more than I go back to the actual episodes. Just because you still kind of get the experience of watching the episode. And plus, once you've already seen it, you know what's going to happen. But like, you get the experience of watching the episode, but you also get a lot of really good insight from a lot of really talented people. Some of whom aren't around anymore, unfortunately. But yeah, that's got to be my favorite. But I am a big sucker for DVD bonus features. I love on the Powerpuff Girls complete set that they have a lot of like Cartoon Network bumpers and stuff. How about you, Monsters? I know you are a DVD aficionado.
Yes, I am. As blasphemous as it is, I really haven't played a DVD in quite a while. Yeah, I know. Shocking.
Monsters is a streaming guy now.
No, I'm not
heard it
streaming
here first.
or physical media.
Monsters is a streaming guy.
But so I don't have season 3 of Rick and Morty on DVD for obvious reasons, and that's not
boycotting it because of Pickle Rick.
Well, Pickle Rick is on the cover, but I also, season 3 is not something I necessarily want to own. But
Ooh.
on the first 2 seasons, the commentaries on those are really cool, and they bring in some cool, just like random guests who aren't even affiliated with the show. So those are cool. The Cartoon Network Fridays DVD, it's like a compilation DVD themed after the Cartoon Network live action Fridays block
With
from the
Tommy and
mid-2000s.
Zynga.
No,
Tara.
Tommy and Tara. Yeah.
Oh.
And it's like the DVD kind of plays out like a broadcast of Fridays. So Tommy and Tara kind of bump in between each episode to give a spiel and tell a few jokes. And it's
Really?
got also, it's really cool actually. And
So
it's
is it just like a play all, or is there an option to just watch the episode?
there's an option for each episode, but like they open it up and it's like, hi, Tommy and Tara, and like you must be watching the DVD of Fridays. So it's like a very individualized experience, and that's a really cool aspect about it. But it has all
Monsters Review must be watching Fridays.
Yeah, but it has like a whole mix of episodes on there. There's like a Billy and Mandy episode. There's a Foster's Home episode. There's a Camp Lazlo episode. I think there's like a Gym Partners episode. But the special features are cool because they have all these weird shorts from the Fridays broadcasts, and they also have like a cool selection of trailers and things like that too. My last one, I guess, is on the first Phineas and Ferb DVD. They have one of the special features is an animatic for the pilot. So before, like, his name was Doofenshmirtz, his name was something else, but it's like a very early test animatic thing where Dan Povenmire voices all of the characters, including Candace, and it's of the roller coaster episode, and that was like a really cool thing to watch.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Also, that Fridays DVD, I didn't get it at the time because I was not a huge fan of the live action Fridays. But honestly, it's really cool to have that time capsule. Like, I know you can watch clips online and everything, but just to kind of have like a time capsule that is basically like the complete experience on DVD. Cool. That's really neat.
Yeah, Metalschmertz. Originally, his name was Dr. Metalschmertz. Doesn't quite have the same ring to it.
No.
Metalschmertz Evil Incorporated.
Huh. Schwartz and Mittelschmertz. Oh man. Oh, DVD games, man. Those are old. Shadow, I think you were gonna ask a question from the Discord.
Yeah, let me see here. I gotta pull it back up really quick. Okay, so it looks like from Ratchet Extreme, they ask, what is a food you absolutely hate? For me, it's seafood. Anything that swims.
We can't be friends anymore. It's over.
And
I'm sorry.
I don't do any seafood either.
Whew,
I'm being 100%. Like, I don't do seafood.
Guys make me so sad. Seafood is the best. Oh, I had this shrimp scampi the other day, and it was just, oh my goodness. Woo!
Smells bad.
Well, you guys, good, whatever. More for me. Oh dear. What was the question? I kind of blacked out with rage there for a second. Favorite food? Food you can't stand?
Yeah, just least favorite food.
I don't know. I appreciate food in all its forms.
There's not a single food out there that you
There
won't
definitely is. I'm just trying to think.
Okay.
I don't like things. I don't know.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
And then a follow-up question that's more related to our stream. What's the weirdest collectible you own?
Didn't we answer this last week? We did. Weirdest cartoon collectible we own.
Oh, okay.
I don't have a non-weird cartoon one. Monsters, what's the weirdest cartoon paraphernalia you own?
Paraphernalia?
Yeah.
Is that not a correct word in this situation?
It is, but usually you hear the word paraphernalia alongside other things.
What kind of contraband do you?
I don't know. I own some pretty cool stuff. I have some like Emmy DVDs from Cartoon Network back when they used to release like screeners and samplers. I have some cool DVD collectibles. I have a Camp Lazlo press kit, which is pretty cool. Yeah, not much else really.
Okay. What's in the Camp Lazlo press kit?
It's pretty cool. There's like a picture of like Leaky Lakes, which is kind of like the setting where the show takes place, and it's really cool because they don't really have like a clear. Imagine it like if they had like a map of Townsville, right? So it's kind of like that for Camp Lazlo. And then they have like these cool packets where it's like a Q&A with Joe Murray and all these cool character descriptors. And there's also like a little DVD that has some of the season 1 episodes on it.
Peas. I don't like to eat peas.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, no, I can't stand them. I had a
That's fair.
like an Asian bowl just before, like literally just before coming on and doing this with you guys. I was yeah, it was, and I was eating around the peas. I couldn't. Wow, I couldn't. I knew there was something, but yeah, no, I do not like peas or pea accessories.
Bud frozen peas.
Eat your pea, Professor. Oh
It
gosh.
had to be referenced, and it wasn't me this time, so you don't have to drink, guys.
Can anyone who can do the best impersonation of the sound that the professor's pee makes? Not like that though. Not like that.
Yeah, I think I don't want to say I'm a
Let me
eater,
just.
but there's some stuff that I just will not touch. Like
How do you think they made that
coleslaw?
sound effect?
They probably just put a microphone in someone's mouth and.
It sounds like it was
some-
like a gum or something, like
Yeah.
slowly chewing. Who wants the worst ASMR in history? No, I don't think I could do it. I think I'd have to like slosh saliva or something, and I don't think anyone wants to hear that. Sorry, Monsters, you were talking about something legitimate, and I just interrupted you with my dumb jokes.
No, don't worry. I was just talking about how coleslaw's bad.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad I interrupted you then. Yeah, I'm not a big coleslaw fan either. Thank you for the super chat, Nicholas Walker. Thoughts on Super Robot Monkey Hyperforce Go added to Disney Plus, and do you want to see more JetX shows on it? I didn't watch JetX really, and
Yin yang yo.
and although I've heard of Super Robot Monkey Hyperforce Go, I've never seen it. I'm glad it's on Disney Plus because if I ever get the inclination to watch it, I've heard some good things recently. There's a little bit of minor buzz about it. Yeah. What about you guys? Do you want to see Yin Yang Yo?
That's just the only JetX show I ever really think of. But it'd be cool if they added it. I mean, why not? You know, it doesn't hurt for it to be there. So yeah, add them all. Go for it.
Well, first of all, Nicholas, you missed the word team in there. I believe it's Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go.
So he's giving us money. Don't criticize him.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's a joke. Someone's gonna take that out of context.
Yes. But to answer your question, I've seen a little bit of it. It's pretty good. I know some people who really like it. I think it's good, especially for the time. I do want to see more JetX shows added, and I guess now is the time. This is something I haven't been great with in the past, but I guess now is the place to
Watching
announce
cartoons.
it. Yes. So obviously we were joking about it earlier in the stream. I haven't posted a video in like over a year. The last one was that Drake and Josh video. I have a video coming out this Friday. It's done. It's completely done.
Yo.
Yay.
It's completely done, and it's about JetX. It's about the history and kind of impact of JetX. And for those of you that don't know, JetX was kind of like an action brand in the 2000s. In certain places, it was a block. Throughout most of Europe, it was a channel. But yeah, it's a video. I've worked pretty hard on it. It's like a half-hour long, and stay tuned for that.
Oh. Did you guys hear the controversy around Yin Yang Yo?
Appropriation.
Apparently, it's also it was originally Yin Yang Young by the creator. This is a reference to Butch Hartman's Danny Phantom video. No, okay.
No.
He created a controversy by claiming that the theme song of Danny Phantom was young Danny Phantom.
Okay, that did not click with
Yeah,
me.
that
for
was
a
my
second
joke, is
there.
that
I get what
it's
I get
actually
what you're
Yin
saying
Yang
now.
Young.
Okay.
I wonder if they're ever going to reboot Danny Phantom. Huh.
Well, I have someone who will talk about that possibility for you. Thanks again for the super chat, Tim Whitfield. Thoughts on Men in Black and Hi Puffy Amiyumi? I'm sorry you keep asking questions about shows that I have not seen. I wish I had a better answer. I'd seen, I think, maybe an episode or two of Puffy Amiyumi, but it's been years and I don't even remember.
I barely remember it either. I remember I'd watch it like on occasion, but it wasn't on that frequently,
Yeah.
or I missed it a lot, so I don't have much memory at all. And as for Men in Black, I've actually never seen a single Men in Black movie or.
I've seen the movies. I assume they were talking about the animated series. I like the movies.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either.
But the animated series was on Kids WB. I've seen promos recently, so I must have watched it at some point because I watched like everything that was on Kids WB, but I genuinely don't remember any of it. So, Monsters.
Yeah, same. I haven't seen Hi Puffy Amiyumi in a long time. I'm sure I've seen its and bits of the Men in Black movies, but I don't really have an impression of either.
You guys need to watch more things because this is sad. We don't claim to it. We don't claim to have seen everything. People are asking the question, and we're gonna answer it. I watch plenty of stuff. It's just I don't watch a lot of old stuff from my childhood anymore. To be honest, I just kind of watch new stuff because when you have a limited amount of time, you don't rewatch something you've seen a million times unless you like absolutely love it, like Avatar. Like, you know what I mean? Like if I go back and watch some of the shows, like I don't know, like Camp Laszlo or something, like or Foster's or whatever. It's like I'm not necessarily gonna waste my time rewatching it since I've already seen it, and if I'm not like absolutely in love with it, I'd rather watch something new that I haven't seen.
There's some shows like where it's like it's kind of like a journey, and it's a show that kind of begs to be rewatched, and you kind of get a different impression of it each time. But yeah, there's some where it's just like you watch it and that's that.
Right. Yeah, I mean a lot of the cartoons as a kid were not like serialized interesting stories with things to say. They were just kind of comedy shows, and it's why like it's one of the reasons why I don't really want to watch SpongeBob anymore. Is just because like I know the punchlines of like the best episodes and the funniest stuff. Like I know them. I've seen it. I don't need to see it again.
Yeah, I mean, if I didn't have a job that took up 8.5 hours of my day, and I didn't have to sleep for 8 hours,
right? Like
if I didn't have a YouTube hobby that I dedicate several hours a day to, and there weren't other things I wanted to do besides watching stuff, and if I didn't have to eat, then maybe I'd have time for this. But
and I
doesn't really work.
I don't know about you guys, but I feel like people get the wrong impression about me, that they think that I just kind of like sit around watching cartoons all day, or that because I talk about cartoons, I need to be an expert in every single thing ever. And the truth is, I mean, a lot of these shows I have seen in the past, but I don't have a lot to say because I haven't seen them recently. And it's not that I never will see them again. It's just for a lot of them, the draw it's not as appealing as sitting down and watching something that's actually new, or watching something more story based like Avatar that I can get more out of,
Yeah, for me, it's just a matter of my taste. Like, there are certain things that I'll go back to. I'll never have an issue going back to Powerpuff Girls, obviously. And, like, I've been wanting to go back to Ed, Edd and Eddy recently. But, like, do I ever need to go back to Cow and Chicken? No.
Yeah, not really.
Do I ever need to go back to My Gym Partner's a Monkey? No. Juniper Leap? No. That's just not what I'm interested in. I don't need to watch that. That's just not me.
And I get the feeling that some of the people asking are younger people who... You're not at a point in your life where it's been 10 years since you've watched something. You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely different and weird when it's like something, not just stuff that I've seen, but like the stuff I watched as a kid, I aggressively watched as a kid. So it's not like, oh, well, I've seen that episode before. It's like, no, I saw Foster's, tons and tons of times. Even if right now I don't remember every word from that episode, if I go back and watch Squeeze the Day, right? Hot in Topeka, stupid water prank on top of the door. Like, I can still remember the stuff as I'm watching, and it's just not as fun an experience as watching something new.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Yep. That's kind of my stance too. Wait, you guys have lives?
I know.
It's shocking.
Say what?
Crazy.
Yeah. Say what?
What's your favorite movie that you've never seen? We've all got one. That's an interesting question. Do I have a favorite movie I've never seen?
Yeah, wait, what?
I wonder how you even answer that. Like,
I guess based on like critical reception. Here, I'll say Ghostbusters, the original, because I'm sure it's a good movie.
Wow.
I've just never seen it.
I'm trying to think of a good one for this. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I've seen so many movies, and I mean, I haven't seen anything recently. Maybe like, I don't know, Sonic.
I was asking for something you've never seen, Monsters.
Oh, you're right.
I haven't seen the Sonic movie.
Yeah, I actually haven't.
Me neither.
Then it's yours too.
Can I make it start like an anti-Sonic show?
So
I'm pretty sure, Pi, not to worry. There are already anti-Sonic people on the internet. You can go make friends with them.
Oh dear. Any more questions in the Discord?
Have you guys owned any of the DVDs of Nick Picks from Nickelodeon?
Oh yeah, I own one of the really random ones.
I own Nick Picks 3, and then I own Nick Picks Holiday. At one point in time, I tried to acquire, I think it's Nick Picks 5, which has Mr. Meaty on it, but I do not have that.
That's like the only home release of Mr. Meaty.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Nick Picks doesn't. It was definitely a more purposeful thing back at the time, because it's like now it's ultimately like what, like 4 episodes of something like of random shows, and
a lot of it was like opportunities for shows that didn't have their own releases,
right,
grown up or whatever else.
Right. We got another super chat from Poke Devotee. Pokemon X or Y or Paper Mario Sticker Star. Oh, X and Y all the way. Pokemon, I've said it before. Yeah. I think I said it last week, that Pokemon at its core is a fun game, right? No matter what decisions they do, no matter how much they take out of it or whatever, at its absolute core, Pokemon is a fun game. It's a fun core gameplay mechanic that no matter what they do, they will never be able to ruin that. And that's why the series will keep going no matter what happens. No matter what. Paper Mario Sticker Star is not fun. It's not built on a fun engine. Like it's I mean, Paper Mario is fun, but like it does, because it doesn't have anything to do with the other Paper Marios. It's not built on like a core fun mechanic. It's just pain.
Let's just walk around and look at.
Let's accidentally use the puzzle sticker in combat and then have to walk all the way back to where the puzzle sticker was located so you can complete the area.
Yeah.
Oops.
It's just boring and dry. And
I played all the way through it. I have every right to judge it as harshly as possible because it's awful.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people say Gen 6 is like the weakest gen. I disagree.
Oh, I agree with that. Gen 6 is the weakest gen, but it's still Pokemon. You know, it's still something you can pick up and have fun with, even if it doesn't have like any post game at all.
Yeah.
Am I ever going to review the Loud House? Nope. Absolutely not. Gen 4 is the weakest gen. Toonjay, buddy.
Okay,
listen.
You just started a war.
Oh dear.
I think Gen 8's the weakest. But
Monsters, which generation
I'm not about to open that
is
can
the
of
weakest?
I mean,
based upon nothing at all. What? Give me a number here.
1 through 8.
Okay, 8's also a fair answer.
Is that Sun and Moon?
No,
that's Sword and Shield. Sun and Moon was 7.
Yeah, I haven't touched anything past. The last game I played in full was the Sinnoh Diamond and Pearl, but I played a little bit of the Black and White, and I wasn't big into it, and I kind of stopped like right at the beginning.
I don't think.
And I haven't touched anything Pokemon.
I don't think you need to put the in front of it like you're an old man. I've played a bit of the Black and White of the Sinnoh Sun, the Sinnoh
man,
the Sinnoh Diamond.
I'm talking about the Pokemans on the internet.
Yeah, no, I played a few of the Pokemon.
Pokemans.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Gen 7 is weird though, because it's like, I feel like that's the most polarized, because it feels like people say it's either the best or the worst, and there's like no in between.
I heard great things about the
But-
anime, like the TV series.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, you guys cover that Pokemon is like a Netflix exclusive now?
Yeah, that was a few
Yeah, we
weeks
did
ago.
we did an episode on that, or stream on that.
And that remake of the first Pokemon movie.
That might
We
be.
haven't talked about that yet.
Yeah.
But it might be a future episode or something.
Have you seen Muppet Babies 2018?
No, but I've heard about
Yeah,
it.
I'll be honest with you. Anything that's a preschool show, I'm not watching. I'm not interested in.
Me
I'm
neither.
sorry.
That's not.
On it has
What's
some
up?
sort of creative influence on it. Tom Warburton, who did
Oh.
Kids Next.
I mean, that's great, and I'm sure it's great for kids. It's just not really that interested. At this point, a
Mm.
show has to have like a significant component that appeals to me as an older person, or else I'm just not really interested in even reviewing it. I'm not someone who, and honestly, I don't think I've ever been someone who just kind of like reviews everything that comes along. Generally, I have to have some sort of interest in it, in
Same.
some way or another. It doesn't have to be like tied to a property I care about. It could be something that I was just kind of like excited for and then found to be really disappointing.
Mhm. We live in an age where there's just so much content
Yeah.
out there that you don't have to watch something you're not interested in. Like, there's so much that will probably appeal to you that you shouldn't really run out of things.
Right.
So,
And I
I don't
mean,
know, that's my mindset.
interest being good or bad, to be honest.
Yeah. But if it's like, if you have no desire to watch a show, then that's not going to matter. There's a dozen more that you can look at instead. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Favorite Clone High
Pokemon in general
character.
is
Oh,
super polarized. Oh, I was just reading a comment.
me too.
Favorite Clone High character?
Gandhi. He's so bad.
Gandhi is a choice.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, I don't know. I mean, honestly, can you even pick one? Because there's
I know, right?
JFK.
I'm like,
Okay,
yeah,
for me.
I like JFK.
It probably is JFK. Honestly, like if you were to take any given scene with JFK in it from Clone High, basically every scene with JFK in it is probably funny for at least like one joke or two.
He's a lovable jock. His voice is hilarious.
Yeah, the speech mannerisms are
Ask not what you can do for your student body government. Ask what you can do to your student body president's body.
That's the thing. Gandhi is very, very funny when he's funny, but there are definitely times when his jokes fall flat. So I would probably say JFK is the most consistently funny character on that show.
Who would you say is the most flat? Like Cleopatra?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I mean, of the mains, yeah. I mean,
Right.
she just exists to be kind of like a goal for the male characters.
Which is a trope of like teen dramas.
Right. I mean, Joan of Arc is an interesting character. I don't think she's kind of stuck with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Nothing bad
Hey,
ever
Shadow
happens
and
to the
Monsters.
Kennedys. Sorry.
Hey, Shadow and Monsters, what are your favorite and least favorite Sonic characters? Let's talk about Sonic some more. Well, you can probably guess my favorite based on my name. So.
Why do you assume that Monsters is on Team Sonic? All right.
Monsters, are you on Team Sonic?
I'll say this much. For those of you that are unaware, I have like no connection to Sonic, the franchise as a whole.
Good.
It's so crazy because there's so many people in this online animation community who have such a close connection with Sonic.
Yes,
And
that they'll name
love
their
the games and comics. And it's so weird because I talk to the people sometimes and I just zone out whenever people talk about Sonic.
I know. I don't get it. I just
And it's
don't
because
get it.
the thing is, like, a lot of it, like, I had access to Sonic, right? Like, Sonic X was on 4Kids, and like, like I've had access to Sonic as a medium, but like, I don't know what it was, but none of my friends played Sonic. I never played any of the games, watched any of the shows, read any of the comics. I'm basically a blank slate when it comes to Sonic, so I don't really know anything about it.
We need to get Nintendo
Nope.
back on here.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Scold me.
Will Sonic have his own streaming service one day?
I
They'll
hope.
have to like there can't be any delay on those like loading speeds.
It's just all buffering, and it's just a little Sonic.
All right. Well, okay, fine. We don't have to talk about Sonic, but how do you feel about Sonic the restaurant?
It's
I've
good.
never been to Sonic.
I've been there a few times. It's all right.
The commercials with those two guys.
In the drive-through
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
Sonic has it. Others don't. Am I too cool for Sonic, or is Sonic too cool for me? That's an interesting question. I think Sonic might just be too cool for me.
Pretty rad and extreme. That's one thing I will appreciate from of the Sonic media that I have observed. A lot of it is kind of like, "Whoa, I'm so sick. My name's Sonic, and I'm cool, and I go fast, and all this crazy stuff." And like I don't know, I like that kind of quirky, extreme '90s vibe. So
I should make a documentary about the Sonic fan base from as an outsider. Being like, and why are you so attached to this radical blue hedgehog?
Because oh yeah, this is happening.
I think what happens is that Sonic is one of those things that everyone starts out ironically liking.
No, I've liked Sonic since the
God.
beginning of my life.
All right, you're just a lost cause.
It all
You're
started
just
with
gone.
Sonic R.
it was like Sonic or Mario, and I mean, I was never much on the Mario train to begin with, but like I played a few Mario games here and there. Nothing Sonic.
Yeah.
Some of the people I was talking to a few weeks ago introduced me to a character named Rotor, and he's like a walrus or something. And I was like,
yeah.
you know what? That guy is my favorite Sonic character. He seems really cool.
Was his name Router?
Rotor.
Like a helicopter rotor.
Like a Netgear Router?
No, not Router.
Cisco Linksys.
Yeah, Cisco. Oh, man. Okay. All right. Yeah. No, you guys don't. You don't ironically like him. You just have a disturbing attachment to.
He goes fast. I like that he goes fast.
Oh dear.
Oh, man.
Thoughts on the Pixar lamp? I'm not a fan. According to Lidcan, I agree. The Pixar lamp's a bully. We need.
What did Luxo Jr. do to you?
That poor eye. Every movie.
There's no
The eye
in
is the
Pixar.
metaphor for the audience. Pixar is trampling on
the lamp is showing you that it's not just about I.
The lamp
It's
is
about
brutally crushing.
It's not I, it's we.
You think
We
Luxo
need to
Jr.
stop
has
saying I.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna cancel Luxo Jr. I'm gonna go on Twitter. Hashtag cancel Luxo Jr. Oh,
Junior is
dude.
over.
I saw a fan animation that was like a POV of the eye's perspective.
Oh yeah, I've seen that too. Yep.
Oh dear. Oh
my
man.
gosh.
Are we gonna talk about Muppets now? We might. I mean, it's a streaming original.
Yep.
So maybe.
It's a candidate.
I like the Moops. So. Sound effects are so iconic that me and my friend did them at the start of Inside Out. Okay. Huh.
Pixar movie in a long time. Like in regards to the new ones, I haven't seen Inside Out or Coco or
Oh,
I haven't seen Onward. Oh, I saw Toy Story 4. That's the most recent one, and I was not a fan of that.
yeah. Monsters, is there anywhere where we could hear you
Yeah.
being not a fan of Toy Story 4?
Yeah.
Let's see. Have you seen the Pixar movie Up?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
How about that sad
I mean-
beginning? Am I right?
Ooh.
Yeah, I remember the
This
first
is
10
a good
minutes.
question.
What question, Shadow?
Here, is there a show you felt had a perfect finale only for them to ruin it with more episodes
Scrubs.
later on? Okay, yeah, that's fair. My answer, I'd say MLP, honestly. Like, if MLP just ended at season 5, I'd be satisfied. But
I mean, some people would say Futurama. I actually like a lot of the Comedy Central era episodes. So, I don't really know.
What about the Cleveland show?
Don't get this.
Season 1 wrapped things up perfectly. No, I don't. I have never seen this Cleveland show.
That show's not coming back anytime soon.
Oh, really? What is the favorite DVD or Blu-ray you own, Monsters?
Oh man. Well, time to look at my vast collection.
Oh my god! While you're doing that, I have the full series of Scrubs like collection, and it's like a clipboard, and it's like a big folder with all the discs in it. I think it's really sweet, so that would probably be my favorite. Shadow,
I'm trying to think.
Powerpuff Girls.
That complete series.
Yeah, I mean,
It's good.
I don't really have that. Like, I don't have that much physical DVDs or Blu-rays. I really don't. Like, I have a lot of the Marvel movies and then like Star Wars, Indiana Jones. But really, it's Powerpuff Girls because it's like there's no other sure movie that I'm like as attached to as that. So yeah,
I guess
I know it's a box set, but
some of my favorites are the original SpongeBob complete second season box set. I really like.
Those ones are good.
Yeah, it's like the cardboard one, a little bit filled. I like that. I like. I have. What's that?
Oh, sorry. Avatar's original release. The DVDs are
The volumes?
great. Yeah. What? No, not the volumes.
The full season.
The seasons where when you open them up, they're like a different stronghold.
Yeah.
There's really cool art on them. That's why I kept them, even though I have the Blu-rays now. I was thinking of selling them, but honestly, like, I don't know, they just look really nice on the shelf.
A couple others I really like. I have an Australian import of the first season of Camp Laszlo. That's really cool. And then I had another one, but I don't remember. Yeah, I have lots of DVDs.
Okay. Pie Guy Rules, have you forgiven / forgotten / gotten your revenge on Nintendo for that time he said his opinion is right because he had more subscribers?
Not a recast moment.
Yeah, it was a recast moment, yes. I continue to get revenge on Nintendo by roasting him on this show as much as possible.
Thing is he may or may not be listening to it.
He pops in to every show. He's probably not listening right now, or else he'd chime in. But he does pop in to basically every week.
Nobody talks we're talking about him.
Let's see. Dorian's Place just says JG Quintel.
Yeah, Stan JG Quintel.
Well, I mean, he's better than most creators.
You want to go for a few more minutes and then?
Yeah, I think we're gonna call this probably at 6:30. 7 more minutes.
Okay.
So get in your questions now. Got another super chat from Bacon Toasty. Will Stream Soda have trivia? Nah, this isn't the recast. I do love trivia, but it takes a bit of work to set it up, you know.
Very intense.
We never figured out how to do it in the live stream form either.
No, we didn't.
Like it's tough too. It makes you put on your thinking cap and wonder what the episode of the Powerpuff Girls reboot is where a mysterious.
We're not doing this, Monsters. Don't bring it up.
Question 1.
I reviewed it. I reviewed that episode. It's done. It's over. Never again. We never have to talk about it. It's done.
Question 1 on recast episode
Make it
20.
stop.
What was your answer to question number 2, Monster? Oh gosh.
Everywhere is squid.
Hmm. That's still up there, by the way. I've checked it recently. If you go to the Ben 10 wiki and you go to the like episode list for the reboot, yep, it's like Ben, Gwen, and Grandpa Max go to a 10 where everything is squid.
Yeah, we actually talked to someone who worked on that episode. That was a pretty cool experience.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. That episode is so weird too. Ben has a fear of squid because he like played one in a play or something as a kid. It's very strange. Thanks again for the super chat, PokeDevotee. Would you ever live stream Pokemon challenge runs? I think that era is over for me. I don't know about you, Shadow.
I mean, never say never, but not anytime soon.
I'll say never.
I don't have to. Okay. Well, maybe I will live stream
There you go.
someday in the future.
If Shadow sets everything up,
Maybe.
I'll be there.
Okay. Maybe. I don't know.
Aw.
I just need the time, man. Like
I know.
I've said, we just need the time.
Gotta.
Time to live stream Pokemon Go because nobody's outside.
Avengers Assemble is a show with mixed reception. What do you think of the fact that it's the longest running Marvel cartoon at 127 episodes? Dang, is it really? No Spider-Man show has
That's
made it past
crazy.
that?
Man,
I don't think so.
That's
Wow.
not. I mean, 127 is like a decent amount of episodes, but like considering how big a franchise Marvel is, you would really think that they'd want I don't know, they'd have like some hit show that would last longer, but a lot of their shows get canceled after 1 or 2 seasons.
They do.
a lot of it's like
Marvel's never really hit its stride in the TV department, really, that much.
yeah, a lot of it's
Do
just like
over.
different
Sorry.
iterations. Yeah,
I like Jim Cummings, but that I can't deal with that.
How long until this episode's on the Street Stars channel? It's gonna go up at 3:59 next Sunday.
Dang.
Well, if you want a guarantee, then that's
At the
the time I
latest.
got.
Yep. Ultimate Spider-Man apparently has 104 episodes, so
Can you-
is that the Drake Bell one?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, Team Seafood.
Before the 2017 one.
Boo.
Boo. Do you think the Wii U is underrated? Not really. It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't that amazing of a console. It had some good games, but really no. Like looking back, especially with what we have on the Switch now, it's like
It has
the Wii U is a bad.
It has the
period
reputation.
of time.
It deserved it.
Yeah. Yep. There's only like what Pikmin 3 and I guess maybe Star Fox Zero and a couple
Mario
other games
3D
on the Wii
World.
that are exclusive. Yeah, that are exclusive at
yeah.
this point, and it's like pretty soon. Like I don't have any doubts that Nintendo, if they're gonna, especially with 3D World, if they did it for New Super Mario Brothers U, who's to say they can't do it for that? So I don't know.
Like
I say at some point in the future, those games will be ported to another console, whether it's the Switch or the next console or what. And at that point, the Wii U will be completely obsolete. So
I mean, some of the games on the there's a handful of games on the Wii U that are great games, but yeah, they've all been or most of them have been remade. And even still, like the console itself, yeah, I mean they not a great console. Unfortunately, they had some good ideas, but they marketed it poorly, and then they also, just didn't. The name.
There aren't a lot of games. There really aren't. Like if you ever go to like an old game store or whatever, you can go to like the PS2 section or the Wii section. You can see all sorts of games. Like there's so many games. And yes, there's a lot of shovelware, but the library is big. And then you go to the Wii U section, it's like maybe 3 shelves if that. Like there's not a lot.
All right, last questions, guys. Get them in.
Questions. Taking questions.
Have you seen Motor City?
No.
I've seen the first couple episodes. pretty
It's a
good.
great show.
It is, from what I've seen.
The seafood medley? That sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't know what you're referencing. Is that a Simpsons thing? Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. No, that sounds familiar. Recently. Oh gosh, I can't remember what that's from though. Oh, that might be from Kipo, actually. Um, the issue is that poor marketing hurt Wii U's sales. I think the Wii U's marketing was poor and that did hurt the console, but I don't think that's the only thing that the console did wrong, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to my Lights Camera Pants stream? I have never streamed Lights Camera Pants. That's what happened to it.
There you go. It's from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Ah.
Oh.
So I don't remember it.
All right. Do you like Family Guy? Last question we're going out on.
I don't really watch it.
No. Monsters?
I really like Family Guy. I really like Family Guy. It's tough because it's I think it's gotten very not good in recent seasons.
Now, are we talking about the show Family Guy, or are we talking about the Family Guy from the hit show Family Guy?
Oh, well, I mean, that completely recontextualizes the question. Oh, wow.
We've officially thought more about this question than anyone on Family Guy has ever thought about a joke.
Yeah,
Ooh.
accurate.
No, Family Guy
yeah,
has its moments. It definitely does. I don't like the show in general, but I'm not going to be one of those people that's like, Family Guy's ruining adult animation. It's the worst thing ever. I mean, no, they have some pretty abysmal episodes and some pretty poor writing choices, but every so often they can be funny. Even I could admit that.
It was the first adult cartoon that I started to like resonate with. You know, like I discovered it on Adult Swim, and I was like, "Hey, like I don't get a lot of these jokes because I'm only a kid, but like this is funny." And I think a part of that is like the physical humor. But nowadays, it's something I like to turn on once in a while when I just want to turn my mind off, and just I'm all about pop culture references, and the cutaway gags are just that. So. And it's memorable, and I guess it's a show where you kind of you tune into it and you know what to expect. So
That's fair enough. All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining us. Monsters, thank you for being here. This was a lot of fun.
of course, my pleasure. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, I enjoyed the conversation. It was a good time.
Yep. Shadow, thank you for being you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Pi, for being
Aww.
Thank you all around.
All right, guys. We will see you Sunday at 4 p.m. once again. Reminder, I do stream Thursdays at 4 p.m. over on Pie Guy Plays if you want to see me play more of the SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom game. And that's all I got. Pie Guy rules out.
See ya.
See you guys next time.